couple item toss characters to pollute the screen real quick for set number 1. It's Mauve Moose versus Elbot.
Here we go. Let the intros rock, of course. First match of the weekend, you might as well. All right, this is funny. I don't think I've actually seen the Lowain intros. This is great. What do we got here? For the happiest place in the skies? I don't know the lore, so I'm even more confused.
She's trying to scout them out for Jabali World.
Oh, word!
Mascot that Jabali World.
This is a Jabali World ad? That's crazy.
It's gotta be, surely. And if you guys are on site, you know, you're just getting ready for the day, make sure to stop by the arcade, of course, on the side. You got signs leading you where exactly you need to go, but of course, it's battle number 1 here. Let's go for the super jump to go right on over the Dormouse.
Still reeling from G-Ratitude. That's kind of crazy. Corner steal setup goes unpunished, actually.
Yeah, right.
We'll take that.
Find the laser. Maybe just trying to go for a delay meaty, right, to catch out a fuzzy mash, but Elbot just mashing that 5L on the wake up. Buys them a little bit of space, but nothing found off of that JH, and now you're tossed back to mid-screen. Oh.
Dash M, yeah. Oh, yo, did you see that roll?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Mauve Moose looking pretty confident here. Yeah, hell of a first round right here. Basically, did not let Elbot get anything going. Won, honestly, pretty much all of those scrambles, only getting a handful of stray hits.
Yep.
I do like Elbot's neutral so far, but of course you run right into the parry, and now it's back to full screen.
Oh,
no. Oh, no.
Yeah,
J2, we're in trouble.
Bros. Now we're stuck in the corner. 50% already taken here. Mauve boost. I mean, we have 50% available. So
again, that's the second walkout we've seen from Elbot. Okay.
Yeah, but you're still getting back thrown for it. But okay, forward throw puts us over into the mid screen, but at least buys us a little bit of time, a little bit of space. But still swept up by the 2U. This should be an easy kill for Mauve boost. We got 100 for SBA, but we don't even need it for game number 1.
Consistency. There is something really nice about just being able to mash that raging strike back row and just take the rest of that health off.
Exactly.
No effort required. All right, Mauve Moose taking the first game. Ooh.
Okay, send out the Rat Sengun, catches out the roll around start, but again, right, how much did we really get for it? We barely got chip damage, and meanwhile, Mauve Moose has you back up against the wall. We find another throw, but it's not back throw, so we still have to find our way back out of this East Coast corner.
Oh my goodness, and Mauve Moose is just recognizing that Elbot is not really able to get past layer 1 right now, so they're mass reversal on every gap. Or just 2U most of the time.
Exactly.
Here we go. This is not going to be enough to kill, but check the damage here. This should be able to set you up for a throw.
Yeah, it's the range. So looking for it exactly like you said, Lennox, but still we send it with the L awesome sauce straight into the parry. Parry on minus frames puts us on set point here for Mauve Moose.
Mauve is looking real confident in these scrambles. Like, that is my big takeaway from this match so far.
Yeah.
Bro has put some work into this.
Okay, again, trying to keep Mauve Moose at bay, but I don't know. Especially, yeah, you try to do Dormouse, but you still have the second bro, right, off of that summon, so just taking so much space here from Mauve.
Taking it again, Catbot coming out to skip Nooch, and of course it's strike throw after set up the boys. Oh, actually got the jump out that time, okay. Woo.
Yeah, again, trying to go for Dormouse, but there's just so many options that Lowain has to show, right? We've barely seen the ultimate bro wheel, but now, you know, just another really good anti-fireball tool, right?
Oh no, EX Awesome Sauce actually anti-airs right there, and we're seeing a human pyramid again. This is going to be close, but I think it's going to be the same thing as last round. Set up a little strike throw action.
Yeah, between lethal throw range, it's the jump out. No! Okay, just go for the meaty. Keeps you right back down, but no full confirm. Elbot on chip damage range. Dormouse gives you one more chance to live. Oh, you sniped the bros, but there was still a laser behind Mauve Moose. Moving on to winners round 2.
Low-key, Elbot did a really good job dealing with boys and
Gran's got decent tools to try and keep her out.
And this is like low-key kind of a more interesting match than it used to be because Yuel, I feel like, does a lot better against Gran than even on release, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she definitely feels like a full character now, which is very cool.
Yeah, exactly. Really tricky on the third dance setups now that it's been you know, reworked and changed a few patches back, but all right, EXDP Ender here, pretty strong start.
All right, Raich on the Gran, of course, playing the Granblue zone pretty effectively here. And there's that 6-6L to close that distance. Again, not going to kill. Yeah, I was going to say, absolutely spend the super right there. Didn't spend the BP early to get that little bit extra damage, but absolutely not going to matter. When your health is that low, any hit's going to do it.
Exactly. Just stagger with the +2M, just keep you locked down in the corner. And I mean, that retreating movement from Yuel is not going to help you when your back's already up against the wall, right? So you're just trying to hold on to this mid-screen dominance here. A little bit more aggressive from Katia.
Yeah. I kind of want to see that. Like you said, you can't afford to get locked down in the corner. You got nowhere to go.
Yeah. I mean, you have a DP, right? You have a standard tool set to try and escape. Of course, we haven't seen any Brave counter from either of these sets just yet, but the jump over, Raich trying to hold on to this ground space and gets jumped in onto the JH. Now Katia has you up against the wall.
I like the whiff punish right there for Katia, but not able to really get anything off of that. Unfortunately, the stance follow-up. And here's the crouch confirm. Oh, no.
Yeah, just a little bit too far from the wall to find the bounce, but I mean, with a health lead like this and a walk back of the DP like that, Raich is going to take game number 1.
That was pretty clean. First DP of the set we've seen it against Beta. That sends a big message right there. I'm not going to lie.
They heard us from behind the curtain. They're like, oh, wait, you're right. I do have DP. I do have Brave Counter. Wait, my opponent heard me too.
Yeah, that's LP sometimes. It's same thing as last match. We're just getting hit by the meaties right now. A little too over-eager on defense, and that is going to cost you, my friend.
Yeah, at this point, we're not even seeing like counter hits, right? It seems like just a lot of walk forward from Katia, so I'm not sure what we're looking for there. Maybe just looking to tech out or something, but either way, we're caught up in the corner once again, and finally this SBA with the spend should be the kill, and a clean perfect to put you on set point.
Yeah, that's the confidence booster right there.
Yeah.
Raich with the perfect. All right, one more round to move on, and I did double check the bracket. This is both of these cats' first round of the day, and there's a 6XL again, dude? Oh, no.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're a lot of times just running into Gran's buttons, right? And even if boot doesn't actually give us the wall bounce, like we're having such a hard time making it out of the corner. We walk it back with some stagger pressure, get boot back up for the wall bounce, and Katia now one touch away from being sent down into the loser's side. The walk back of the DP, the same timing as we saw last round. It's gonna be the same way to finish. Raich moves on to win his round 2.
At a 5M range that like she can really exceed at sometimes. And of course the double jump can definitely play a factor in shutting down some of Metera's pretty potent anti-airs.
Exactly.
Assuming she uses buttons and not like, or rather media buttons and not, you know, 2H, 1H. Those go up at different angles and still's gonna lead to a lot of damage if you get smoked by that.
And I mean, she has, you know, pretty decent anti-airs for both for above her head, like directly above, and also at that 45-degree angle, which is good, but they end up being committal, right? And committing to an anti-air against 2B is one of the scariest decisions to make in the game where, like you said, she has pod stall with the JU, she has double jump, or she can just go, you know, normal forward jump into JH if you think that they're going to delay that anti-air and just keep them on their toes the entire time. But LabyrinthZ, Shockjoc pulling up here, just walking back to try and put ourselves at that optimal Metera range.
Sponsored by Paragon and TNS.
There you go.
Right, let's go. Yeah, just feeling each other out mid-screen right now. LabyrinthZ can afford to play at this range. Yeah, just take stray hits here and there. Yeah, see, backing right off at the threat of double jump right there. It's going to be hop M in that not double overhead.
Yeah, we saw it earlier on, right? Like almost at the beginning of the round, we tried to go for a grappling hook to try and, you know, neutral skip kind of our way into, you know, LabyrinthZ's face. We saw the spot dodge, and we haven't seen that at all coming out from Shockjoc, thinking, I don't want to waste my skill gauge on something that you're pretty decent at reacting to.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good check to throw in early for sure. I like how Shockjoc isn't wasting time on it now. And same thing, full screen. Shockjoc has not got in yet. Stray hit here and there, but now you're gonna have to start thinking about chip. And of course, it's just a stray hit when you're trying to dodge. I get it. That's the Metera, the minefield, I guess you could say.
Exactly, yeah. You're trying to make your way past. If you're a little bit too passive, and of course, when the Metera realizes that, you just get so much room to put butterflies out on the screen too.
Yeah, especially with these butterflies start coming up. And that's what I want to see more of Shockjoc, is trying to contest when the butterflies start getting set in neutral.
Yeah.
She's definitely have the tools to do that. All right,
okay, looking for throw bait with the TK air arrow, but nothing found. But this is the menace move that we see so often, right? Ultimate Butterfly stays out even when Metera is getting hit and tracks you across the screen, so it is this constant threat.
Oh, that far L from Metera, still just as good as ever. My goodness. Yeah, that ult skill, top 5 in the game, brother. I'll die on that hill. Shout out to my man Vira. And this is not where you want to be right here. LabyrinthZ has the opportunity to play a little rush down Metera now, which is very scary. There you go.
Okay, over in the corner, finds something with the parry, but awkward knockdown, right? Not so much advantage, but that throw bait actually ends up going over the ultimate low arrow.
Still, like, we're starting to get some of these holes in here, but LabyrinthZ has too much of a life lead. Trying to bait the reversal out. Yep, I love that.
Look at that, we're in chip territory, so we got to be crazy with a slide up 2L, so this is barely going to do any damage, even with stripping away the braid points because of the fact we started with the double 2L. But still, it's such a good way to try and bring ourselves back and put ourselves on one touch.
I don't know, it's still a good chunk of damage. Now with no BP, this next hit is going to kill you, and there it is. Shockjoc holding on with a sliver of health left, able to claw back that round.
Yeah, 2L scaling is not going to save you when you have no BP left. And especially with a 5M starter, like, I'll see you next round. Shockjoc staying alive.
Oh no, jumping right over the button, and LabyrinthZ is going to be able to take the corner right here. Love the spacing on the hop M right there. Yeah, all right. Yeah, LabyrinthZ, I totally forgot. It's like clearly one of the more practiced Meteras in the game right now.
Yeah. All right, just stacking with the 5L, I mean the disjoint on it is like so good, especially when you're trying to just hold down this corner Granblue zone shenanigans. Now it's a clean corner pickup. This should put Shockjoc in one-touch territory, but might have been an early drop there.
Yeah, very well could have been. Still at a pretty good life advantage. Yeah, gonna spend a BP just to take it back. Yeah. Trying to bait out a brave counter of Shockjoc, it looks like.
Yeah.
And now, oh, okay, that could have been worse, I suppose.
Yeah, tried to send out the pod, but ends up getting ultimate arrowed for it. But we're getting closer and closer to chip damage, but no chip required. Instead, it's the Great Fall to take game number 1.
She has so many options that you could roll her spot dodge,
yeah.
But she has so many other options to cover that. Oh my God,
Exactly.
the mind game can be so frustrating if you're not ready to really get into it. Oh no, no conversion on the air-to-air. I think that was counter hit.
Yeah, I wonder if 5L would have been the way that we picked that up on the ground, at least to get a little bit more corner carry right into a tackle and put you into the corner. But now LabyrinthZ, right, spends the 50 for the UDP and puts us exactly into that mid-screen.
There's the throw bait, finally connects against Shockjoc, and LabyrinthZ should be able to get the setup here. Yep.
Ooh, double 2M, caught out with the EX low arrow. This should be the kill, I thought, but okay, the walk back from LabyrinthZ. Still such a rough situation for Shockjoc to try and bring it back. Now LabyrinthZ on set point.
It's a funny thing about Metera too, if you're not really confident in your combo there in the corner, like just go for the easy reset. You're in a great position anyway, especially if you have like butterflies and meter. You're
exactly.
Good. You're good.
There you go, the poke out with the low arrow. Just let the butterfly fly on by. We've done 3 grappling hooks and none of them have made contact with LabyrinthZ.
Yeah, that is kind of like the knowledge check for this matchup. You need to prove you can handle that, otherwise 2B will just get in.
Yep.
Shockjoc getting a stray hit here, finally taking the corner. Okay, forcing LabyrinthZ to spend some of these brave points.
Yep. And the fadeaway arrows, like you mentioned, trying to bait out that brave counter and, you know, find the full confirm with the butterfly behind it. But Shockjoc just holding on to that BP as much as you can, not trying to take any extra damage from these stray arrow hits.
I'm liking the renewed defense here from Shockjoc. Start. Oh, yes! That's what I want to see. All right. Crumple stay where you get the full conversion right here. Are you going to get the wall bounce? Oh, yes, sir.
Oh, my God. Yeah, just keep the combo going. Make the most of it when you finally find that hit. This potential final round, but we send it with the ultimate butterfly. We're looking for a trade.
Wow, what patience from LabyrinthZ right there. That was clean. I like how Shockjoc used all the movement options and still wasn't able to get it going.
And LabyrinthZ almost playing a little bit more antsy, right? Very active on the zoning patterns because we see that 100. We've lost rounds like this before, but we've also sealed out our ticket to the next.
The game plan's similar enough where like that's the classic example is Neokarsh, right?
Yes.
Like OG Katalina player, but like when Vegeta was top tier vanilla, like yeah, okay, I'm gonna just play the best character in the game, no big deal.
Exactly.
And we're getting into it. That was a clean roll right there to get away from the thrust, and it looks like Wiwi is going to take the corner DP right out. Yeah. Fox Venom's got some startup, no big deal.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to steal some plus frames, see if Kiri is awake, but smash out the DP, swing with the 2M.
This is a lesson that Wiwi is going to learn very quickly. You cannot whiff in front of Kiri.
Yeah.
You do not want to do that, especially not while they're rocking this Katalina dog. These buttons are huge. You're going to see a lot of 2M.
Ooh. That was a game of chicken, but you're charging the 5H and you're like, all right, I can wait this out. You can't like step back out of it, right? There's no bait to be had at that point. Kiri just waiting for the kill.
Yeah, that was great recognition from Kiri. That was as close to guaranteed as we're gonna get, right? Yeah. Like, yeah, we're gonna take that.
You know, as soon as Wiwi hit that 5H, he was like, all right, my bad. I'll see you next round.
100%.
Yep.
And now, okay, very nearly gets the whip punish with a thrust right there. Multi-hitting, of course, gonna blow through the light wall.
Yep. There we go, the ultimate Fox blade. Someone called that Fox multi-shine. Now I just think of it every time I see that move. It's insane.
Touche. Oh, what a mash. All right.
Yep.
Are we going to get a little chunk of damage right here? Are you going to spend? No. Just go for the regular knockdown.
There we go. Looking for the 2M.
Oh, JU. I just got, my PTSD just got triggered in a big way. Jeez. Oh, okay.
Okay, whiff punish coming out from Wiwi. Barely any BP to your name, but same to be said of paid actor. You're already at 1 touch, so you might as well use the BC to bust out. And we got the ultimate fireball to bring us back into the corner 2, evening up the life lead.
Next hit, might be able to build a meter for paid actor, but you got to get the hit first, and there it is. Choosing to spend it on the ultimate skill, which for consistency's sake, hell yeah.
Exactly.
Hell yeah. The corner carry on that thing is amazing, and you did not need a lot of damage to get the kill there anyway. Kiri looking mad strong here in game 1.
Yeah. I mean, barely any HP. You're already at 1 BP. Like, it's 1 touch apiece here, and 1 game up for paid actor, but stop in your tracks with the far H.
Wiwi, oh no! Far end with punish, yeah, looked like back range, so like would have been hard to get a lot. Wow, all right, and that's a hell of a way to kick the stance follow-up back down from Wiwi.
Right, ooh, speaking of the stance, trying to go into the third dance, but the mash out 6-6L from Paid Actor puts us all the way back into the corner.
You got bars this morning, huh?
I'm saying, good morning, gamers. That's what the Monster Zero at 10 a.m. gets you.
You're so real for that. Oh, almost as real as that 2M coming through, and Wiwi is going to be on their last legs.
Yep.
Kiri about to move on. Actually, I gotta peep this bracket, dog. I am very curious to see these players pass.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh, there we go. Round start 6-6M, just trying to catch out the walk back from Wiwi, and now just gradually walking you back down to the corner, looking for the preemptive far H, but nothing found.
Ooh. Oh my goodness, that's like a vintage Kiri move right there.
Yeah.
Whiff a button, let your opponent whiff a button, whiff punish. Yeah.
The whiff punish?
Yeah, 100%.
That's the classic, man.
Real fencing activity. Oh, we gotta get the refund too? Yeah, all right. Paid Actor sealing it off with the swag combo right there. Yeah, and just general, like I really don't think Siegfried can ever really be bad in this game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Any character that can contest Vaseraga and some of those larger ragers always gets big ups for me.
Exactly.
And I do love this sword. I am a big food weapon hater.
Yeah.
So I do love seeing this color scheme with that. And that is a hell of a way to start it out. Punishing the spot dodge with the command grab, and then anti-air with the shoulder thrust. Oh, brother, this is going to hurt.
We've already taken more than 50% off of LastLaugh's HP, but yeah, tried to put the sword in the stone, but not enough armor to make your way through, but still the DP doesn't let you escape the corner.
Missed the 2M right there, it looked like, and it's going to be the uppercut. Yeah, you don't think so? You don't think so?
Oh, I meant, wait, okay, you
Reset.
guys couldn't see. I was wagging my finger at the screen. I meant, no, you're going to die, see you next round. I actually did not think LastLaugh was going to live there, to be honest.
didn't either, yeah. Thought you were a prophet there for a minute, bro.
If I were only so smart, but
man.
the Apollo Foresight evades me. But round number 1 does not evade JetSetRingo again. Deja vu as we're stuck here in the West Coast corner.
What a jump into. Yeah, well, that's just what's going to happen sometimes. Sometimes you just rip stance wrong, you know?
Yeah.
That's how it be. That's how
it with the organ. Okay, able to spot dodge in time. I thought you were going to get full punished.
We are seeing some like very weird spot dodge scramble situations here, and I am loving how JetSetRingo is playing around them at almost every time. The pace control from this gentleman is unrivaled right now.
Yeah. Vaseraga tearing it up as we speak. Oh, but we were talking so much about these spot dodge scrambles. It's exactly like you mentioned, and just waited out with the charge tackle. You see the smile on their face. They're like, all right, I'm pretty nice.
This is great. You just shouted out the locals too. Oh yeah.
I really thought we were gonna see the Vaseraga mirror.
No, bro's trolling.
we saw the hover over on the Cagliostro during button check as well, thinking, okay,
I missed
maybe.
That. Okay.
I wasn't sure if we were just looking for our character or trolling a little bit, but I guess we got the Cagliostro in the pocket here for LastLaugh.
Hell yeah. We'll see, right? We'll see if you could utilize that teleport to switch sides a little bit. Bro saying no shot. Watch this.
It's a no.
And like I'm inclined to believe that with how reactive some of those shoulder charges were to like get an anti-air, full combo. Yeah, no, I'm inclined to agree with that.
Bro, we got the Madoka Magica versus like the Evangelion. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
We got Ava Unit 02. Or is that 01? Either way, we're one step closer to the corner.
Look at the control here. Just all of the swings, and it looks like LastLaugh is finally going to get a hit. Drops the combo, a little bit of an awkward height confirm. I
got to say, I'm actually surprised the U-Instinction, right? The Vaseraga Fireball does not clear out the double grounded seals from Cagliostro. So this is working out really well for LastLaugh if you just need one more touch. Up from JL. Yeah, you're in the corner. It's okay.
You're still, and you're going to rip this last. Yeah, there it is. All right. That's really funny. I am now questioning if LastLaugh only knows how to play neutral with Cagliostro and doesn't know combos because, like, we saw some interesting conversions right there, but, sometimes it doesn't matter.
Maybe it's creativity. Maybe it's, first 1 or 2 sets of the day and you're just trying to warm back up to your other character.
For sure.
But still, feeling pretty comfortable setting up the seals, right? I mean, of course, once we have 5U activated, Soulforge is scary, right, as a way to make your way through. But we were threatening the 5Us from full screen with the spears, but found the gap to get some armor up here for JetSetRingo. Ooh!
Oh, man. LastLaugh finally found the right spot to spot dodge, and it's still going to end up in the corner. There it is. Big old skill coming out from JetSetRingo. This is going to be a lot of damage.
Yeah, as soon as we saw the EX and the teleport, immediately letting the ultimate skill rip, swiping at the skies, but still off the straight confirm. It's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, back off. Yeah, you got that ultimate trap out. Play around that. Good stuff, good stuff.
All right, caught you standing with the calculated.
Wow. okay, utilizing the armor to blow right through the portal right there. Good stuff.
Yep.
BC, yeah, you are not trying to get locked out by this character. Command throw incoming. Teleport, there it is. That should be a punish. No BP, there should be more than enough to kill. And LastLaugh takes back a very quick game too. Yo,
you
bro,
see that smile? You see that smile?
Yeah.
He said, all right, let me gamer lean real quick. We're one apiece.
Absolutely. Here we go. All right. I'm almost wondering if these cats know each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right? Like they're homies, and it's like, oh man, I guess we didn't fill out the bracket feedback form in time.
Yeah.
They probably run into each other in bracket at least once or twice. But I think, like you mentioned, right, the mobility that we're getting from these Cagliostro TPs and even the air stalls off of the seals is doing so much. But the anti-air caught you on landing with the ultimate command grab here.
Sometimes you just gotta know, and that goes back to that reactive play from JetSetRingo.
Yep.
Very crisp so far. Oh, no, not reactive enough, though. Sit down.
Ooh, the extinction, like you said, the spot dodges are clean from LastLaugh. And now combined with the extra mobility that we have, send it out with the ultimate seal. BC to put the seal out.
And I love how we're using Metera on the ultimate trap set. Is like really not worried about like big damage confirms.
Yeah.
This is I have to lock you down and get away. And now LastLaugh is on set point against JetSetRingo, who was looking dominant in that first game.
Yeah, backdash, half screen, disjointed far H. My footsies are nice, and now we're one round away. Taking this reverse sweep, damn! Anti-air far L, or close L rather.
Got to see a little more patience dealing with these teleports. That is going to be a big factor in this potential last round.
Yeah, we're trying not to let LastLaugh get away with too much, extra mobility with the TPs. But again, being a little bit too antsy, I think, is also getting them hit.
Wow, that actually hit, and of course it's going to be Dash M right after the reversal from JetSetRingo for the knockdown.
Yep.
Buff up, son.
All right, pull up with the 5U. Still got a couple more stacks in the gauge, but caught out here with the far H.
Yeah, BC right out. A little scary, could OSD spot dodge right there, but it was not to be. You are plus, you pressed, and now you are in the corner.
Yeah, the setups are leaving a little bit to be desired from LastLaugh, but definitely not the case on JetSetRingo's damage. Send it, the SSBA. We're going to see the full cinematic here as we slash on through LastLaugh's HP.
Sliver left.
Live.
Yeah, oh yeah. That was a hefty one, but not to be. JetSetRingo trying to play this as safe as possible.
Oh, the spot dodge super!
There's no way, right? Oh, he got it! Oh, yo! And we're talking that smack too, yeah! Oh my goodness,
the hand on the shoulder?
Yeah.
Oh,
These cats have seen him in pretty much every big tournament so far this year. Arc World Tour Finals, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This guy was a points farmer, just so close to getting some of these auto qualifiers, but falling just a little bit short. Yeah. So especially towards the end of that last Arc World Tour final season, we're seeing him grind out event after event, just traveling across the US to try and make sure he secured his qualification.
Indeed.
Falling a little bit short at Combo Breaker as well, that auto qualifier, just second place to Zerom. So, still fighting for all these points early on into the season, so we don't have to stress quite as much.
Yeah, and what a set that was, too. Like,
yeah.
Talk about hard fought, talk about cats that were consistently falling short. It was those two. Zerom and Zane always right up there in those top 8, but not really get the big ones. So
consistently making it there, but just barely avoiding that auto qualifier, right? So, all right, let's keep the performances up as we head into our next round. Once again, Versusia versus Grimnir, just taking to the skies with the JH.
Did they just put some Street Fighter 4 in my Granblue? Is that side switch looked evil?
That's what I'm wondering, man. What side? It's not for you to know.
Certainly not for me to know. Oh my goodness. Zane able to get a little control in the corner right here.
Yeah, far H into the H fireball, ends up baiting out the Brave counter too, so that's 1 BP down the drain and baited out off the double air dash.
That's a hard setup. This character has so many ways to make you guess on defense and make you twitch.
Yep.
And Zane is like, I don't master that, I'm not gonna lie. 1 BP left here from Drakkan. Spends it, gets baited. This is a bad spot.
I really wonder if we intended to do Ultimate Pillar. And I mean, if we did, really smart choice, because a lot of times we're seeing run up into throw bait with the air dash, so it would catch that out, but it doesn't let you escape the corner, though.
Yeah, it was a good thought, but not enough right now. Zane, that at minimum, that's going to be good info for Zane.
Yeah. All right, now we waited out off the seals. I wonder what the response is, but I wonder if Zane is used to new Versusia, right? Setting out the orb. Sure. I imagine the idea is set out seals and go above and around it, but now that it travels forward, it actually caught up the startup of Zane trying to approach.
There we go. This is how Drakkan could get us started here. Chose to give up the hard knockdown. Interesting.
Yeah. Just trying to look for that 5U stack, but there we go. Send it with the double air dash, and now we got you behind the back into the corner, exactly where we tried to escape from.
Zane is so good at reading these micro situations. You really, oh no, yeah. Well, you know, we all got hit there.
Yeah. This time, you know, it was also the ultimate pillar, so I want to say that was intentional from Drakkan this time. But Zane just going for a you know, much smaller gap so you don't get caught by the startup of that pillar.
Saw that startup of Raging Strike, absolutely a brave counter attempt that got baited out from Zane. That is going to be the first game, and Zane is only one game away from making it out of pool.
Yep.
All right, here we go, hopping right in. Again, EX Fireball round start. I think second time we've seen that. And of course, yeah, just air dash right in. Easy combo in the corner. Set up your Oki.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Now, instead of trying to go for the box jumps to, you know, be tricky with the air movement, we just went for TK air dash to get right in Drakkan's face before they can even decide, do I want to put out Fireball or do I want to go air to air?
Zane's been doing a really good job of playing like these basic traps too, where Drakkan's pressing Brave counter and it's just straight up whipping. Yeah. Oh, there's the DP. Yeah. All right, you got to get something going here.
No pillar this time. I really do wonder if we've just been doing down back ultimate skills and being like, wait, I do not want pillar. Oh, but we do want H Fireball to go right through the orb. Zane with the Psycho Crusher. Now 1 round away from set point.
Drakkan's got to get the adjustment game coming in, and it might be too late. I'm going to be so real, but if there's a will, there's a way, and it is going to be a 2H starter. We're going to the corner. We don't have meter for the real big damage, but this setup is not your friend right here.
Yeah, you got all the seals in the world. You can do like 3, 4 throw baits in a row.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, a little too far away to punish.
Space plus frames off of the 5 you consume. Actually ended up walking themselves out of the corner. There we go, but there we go. Zane able to leverage that 5U to escape once again.
Drakkan does have the meter. We're going to spend it on the DP, and it finally gets baited this time. Yeah, Zane cash out the super, and that is going to be the round. No animation required. Zane moving on to, I think it's technically winners semis in this pool.
Yeah.
But that is
the winner of this. Does guarantee themselves a spot in that top 48. Might be winners,
so
might be losers, but this is a qualifier for the qualifier.
Hell yeah, okay. So it's going to be pretty much all bangers from here on out then. Oh, and update Labyrinth beat Pocket Wild, so it's going to be Zane versus Labyrinth later. But that's we ain't worried about that right now. It is Soriz time. Look at how buff this dude is, bro. Oh my goodness. Making me feel insecure on stream. That's crazy.
You know what he said? He was like, you know, you're kind of giving me the stank eye. Like, do we have beef? And she's like, not really. But you looked at Katalina, so, you know, maybe we do have beef.
Yeah. Big Yandiri vibes here.
A little Doomed Yuri beef bolognese as we put ourselves into the corner, whiff on the roundhouse bang.
Yeah, don't whiff like that, brother. Micropene will be able to just blow you up. Yep, 5U if you're not confident in the anti-air attempt. That is certainly an option.
Yeah, I definitely thought we saw Zohma swinging, but just holding down back, especially with meter, right? We have a lot of ways to just rotate plus frames once Soriz finally walks you down.
And it's funny, Soriz has, I was going to say the good old skills, but his EX skills are pretty good by themselves, and that is bait, my friend. Yup, we know how to punish that. So many people get caught on block or even on hit with Vira pressing 5 or 2U right after, so I really like the fact that Micropene locked in, got the punish instantly.
I mean, that's the, how would I describe it? It's the crazy man strategy, right? You show minus frames to the DP, you can tell your opponent's getting annoyed by it, and they're going to try and do it to you, and then you just wait out and bait out the reversal, right?
Yeah, that's the real mind game, absolutely. If your opponent isn't angry by the end of the set, did you get in their head?
Exactly.
Who's to say?
Now he's talking with the 5Ls, the 6Ls as well, just whipping on the roundhouse bang, making Zohma think I have to swing a big button to try and escape, and now it's frame trap for Micropene. It's game number 1 with the SBA and a perfect 2.
With the perfect 2. Yeah, you see Zohma thinking, oh, yo, we got that. Yeah, all right.
He's like blocking the Soriz out of his mind. Yeah, he's
so real, dude.
He's invaded my mental fortress.
Yeah, anybody that takes the time to learn the win animations of their character, you've earned some respect from me.
It's mental diff, yeah.
It's mental diff big time. Oh my goodness, yep. Oh, cancels it that time to actually, I don't know if that was a punish or a counter poke, but either way, Micropene gonna get the safe jump, trying to bait out a DP. Oh, there it is.
Speaking of baiting out the DP.
He knew it was coming. And you, oh my goodness, you might actually die here. I dig straight to, I think this is dead if that doesn't drop.
Yeah, we linked into the super, there we go. Micropene running a speed run right now, 3 rounds in a row. Zohma fighting to stay alive.
Oh man, I can't believe that. I was watching that happen going, wait.
Yeah, we got the link off of the special too for a little extra damage. I don't know if we did the good input, but
hey, you know what?
Either way,
who cares?
Still good.
Yo, footsies, bro.
I'm so annoyed.
I'm so annoyed. Yeah. That is crazy. Catching the fuzzy mash timing, it looks like Micropene. Like, this whole whiffing stuff in the corner, like, clearly has a little more foresight behind it than it might initially appear.
Yeah. Now we're fighting our way back out of the corner, but we spent our last VP on the Brave counter. Even these 5 U's are scary, right? A couple, you know, triggers, a couple explosions off of that special could be the kill.
Zohma has meter, but that is the only resource they have. Look at this. No diamonds. No, like, the health differential is massive. You had the meter, but like absolutely no opportunity to do that. That was control on a level that you don't really expect it.
I wonder if Rialzo is playing Anila for this. I know he was tweeting about it recently, but you can never trust the timeline.
No.
How that translates to real life, right? But at least we get to see one sheep here. A Lamia versus the sheep. It's Wool versus you know, interdimensional powers. Lucy versus Macintosh when you run right past the pillar.
Oh, all right. DP with that as a footsie's option? Absolutely. Oh, my goodness. And while she doesn't have a lot of mix, she does have some pretty good control options. Very, very Terry Bogard of her.
Yeah, exactly. We got the Totsugeki to charge on in. We have a Fireball with the sheep.
Oh, no.
Oh, we have a little bit too much distance between you and me for that throw to land.
Yeah, Lucy is not going to let you get away with that one for free. Definitely a practiced player.
That was a cool link off of the, what was that, JH into EX Lariat? That was pretty sick.
Lucy got the sauce right here.
There's some new combo routing for Versusia in the new version.
Love to see it. That old one was getting stale, you feel me? Right. Got hit by that too many times. Plus frames off the sheep. And we are playing the Granblue zone right here. Yep, multi-hitting. That's more or less guaranteed.
Jump back air throw is a curious way to try and take control of this guys. I wonder if that's a misinput from Lucy the Lamia, but no input, no mash out on the Raging Strike. And now you're getting caught up in the corner. Didn't even need the full combo with that extra 50% damage.
Macintosh 2002 bringing me back to first grade like the IMAX, baby. Let's go. All right.
Yep.
Let's see. Lucy's got a pretty solid adjustment game. Yeah, that's a counter poke. You're minus now. Don't press after that. All right, Miller finally check in. Yes, she does have some. Oh, wow, that's just footsies right there, straight up. All right. Well, never mind. Take this knockdown off sweep, and we're right back into the corner, forcing Lucy to spend some more of these diamonds.
Okay, looking for the walk back, but no Brave counter baited out here. Instead, just waiting for an opportunity to strike, but now down a diamond. Yeah, that link is sick. I'm going to keep saying it even after I see it a 5th time.
That's okay. Some combos are evergreen.
Yep.
That's going to do it right there. Lucy the Lamia answering right back. Kind of fitting. We got the Raging Strike actually hit Roth on both sides to win the round.
Yeah, winning round 2 the same way we lost round number 1.
Oh, man.
Poetic justice.
Poetic justice. Put it in a song. Oh, okay. I was a little worried we'd see a kind of a gnarly whiff punish coming out right there, but Ball saves Lucy yet again. Killer follow. Okay.
Yeah, we got Orb versus Fluff It, we ball, but no jump is going to make your way in here. Instead, it's the high acceleration dash right out of the corner.
Fluff It, we ball goes so hard.
That's what I'm saying. We've been seeing a lot of that with JL combined as well, the multi-hits, but it's definitely not going to save you from the corner. 50% HP left here for Macintosh.
Lucy's starting to respect that 2U from Macintosh, too. I'm really like that. Oh, counter. Oh, no, and you got it. All right. So if you're new to Granblue and you clash at that range, the answer is throw. It's your fastest option.
Yeah.
Lucy had already committed to something else, so Macintosh's mash worked. Oh, and see, there it is. Perfect. All right, that's how you beat clash. Back onto the corner. Bake the DP, and that is going to do it. Lucy the Lamia cashing out with the super. Say goodbye.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of these wake-up situations where Lucy is doing like delayed meaty or like walk back on your wake-up to try and bait out this reversal. Didn't work out the first 3-4 times we did it and just ended up getting a delayed meaty situation. But finally, when we let the UDP rock, it ends up sealing out the game. So game number 1 over to Lucy.
And this is kind of what we're used to seeing from them, right? Like, Lucy's one of those cats that might take a round or 2 to get rolling, but like, once that adjustment game starts coming out, like, that really becomes on their opponent to make this happen. Exactly. Oh, what a check! Okay, love the far L there.
Poke out with the far L, spot dodge on the orb.
Nah, that's a 2H, absolutely. That's the power of the Granblue zone right there. It makes reacting that so much easier.
Yep. Ooh, the sweep out with the 2U though. Again, still vying for space to try and escape the corner. Stagger on the 2L, didn't believe in the hit, so we do it again. And the ultimate ball is going to get us all the corner carry we need on that EX Lariat.
Yup, meaty 5L. Ooh!
No believe. Checked on what I assume was a Brave counter in a scramble.
And there's the Lariat, yeah. What do you think, J2?
EX Lariat's not. All right, I'll see you next round.
Is he dead? What? Oh, I saw the run animation. Spot dodge. No, that's going to hurt so bad, dude. Oh, all right, so you get OP after this, too. This is, you have no BP. I cannot believe it. Watch. Oh, no. Yeah, all right. Okay, that's one of those rounds, you put that in the trash. You forget that happened, you take a deep breath, and you keep moving.
That's the VOD review round, but like you got to save that for after the tournament. You got to clear it from the mental RAM and stay cooking.
Absolutely. Yeah, it had the right idea with the spot dodge, right? Because you have to worry about Chip. Just missed the timing. That's crushing. But
right idea.
Still has a game lead right here. That being said, McIntosh gets the opening on the 2L.
Yep.
Forces another diamond out of Lucy, and the check again. Far L shuts down that approach. McIntosh has a very good chance right here.
There we go. We're looking for the walk back again, trying to bait out the DP just like Lucy did for game number 1. Oh no, being pretty patient on the reversals on both sides.
I love the way she mixes up EX Lariat with the slower versions too to check that fuzzy timing.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Ooh, yeah, 2U from downtown. We called this the esports button when we first saw Anila drop.
Right? Oh god, I forgot about
esports.
that. Esports, baby!
It's in the game. No, but the drop of the EX Fireball.
So now there's another very funny comeback potential here. We have no BP on the side of McIntosh. Any hit is going to kill, but the 2H is going to seal out game 2. McIntosh 2002 trying to stay alive on the winner side of this bracket.
Yeah, that was kind of a scary 2H, right? We knew we were in range for DP to be lethal as well, so once we saw Lucy leave the ground, I think MDP might have been an even safer way to do that, right? But maybe it was on cooldown. Either way, still, you know, woke enough to get the reaction in time.
Exactly. As long as you get the hit, you know what? Good enough.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe I'm just speaking as someone who's bad at anti-air, and you know, maybe that's an easy 2H for folks
Cheers.
unlike me. All right, little 5U just to try and see what Lucy is trying to do. We get the BC, guaranteed BC point to escape, but still stuck against the corner.
Oh no, and that just hit raw. Looks like Lucy tried to hit something, and now you are going to eat a good chunk of damage. No super on the table, so that's okay.
Yep.
But this is still not where you want to be. Yeah, DP right out. Yeah, no boomer check.
There we go. 26 frames, but still alive and kicking. Ooh! Anti-aired by the ultimate Totsugeki, the sheep charge, pulling up for McIntosh, now on set point.
That's some like day one rising action right there. It's like, oh, did you neutral jump? Sorry, Zed is going to hit you with the beam from full screen. There's
yeah, that's just going to do like 50% of your HP. A little bit more toned down now, but it is funny to see the blue screen flash anti-air you straight out of the sky.
It is very silly. I'm absolutely there for it. Okay, thank you. Lucy dropped the punish for that last time. Much more confident this time, able to get a decent amount of damage.
Yeah.
More importantly, the corner right here, we're buffed up. Strike throw is coming at you. Are we going to jump? Yup. Keep it easy, and okay, I'm not saying nothing, bro.
Yeah, I tried to go for the throw attack there, but we see that walk back, that close L, exactly like you mentioned, right? Knowing that proximity is going to be consistent wherever we go. Now it's final game, final round between these two.
All right. It's all big brain. Lucy just let McIntosh get that round, so so she could really rub the salt in the wound in this last game. Unless, whoa, okay. Unless, yo, that was a hell of a whiff punish there from McIntosh.
Yeah, right?
Way too far away to get anything from it, but that's okay.
There you go, swipe out with the 2M, no full confirm, but we still got you in this Granblue zone. Again, the fluffy we ball into JL, just keeping Lucy locked down, but no BCs to be baited.
Oh. Speaking of bait, there is the ultimate DP, kiss 50-meter goodbye, and possibly the rest of your health. Do we have the route to kill? No, this is not going to be enough. But this is absolutely going to be a throw range. Strike throw, and the fuzzy mash takes it out. All right, Lucy is in a really rough spot here. You don't even have the meter for the refund. The BP jumps again, and McIntosh lands that 2H so
paid actor, Kiri himself versus Claire.
All right, here we go. This should be a fun one. Kiri, I feel like I'm sounding like a broken record at this point. Kiri is like one of my favorite players to watch. Just very entertaining, very cerebral player, but also knows how to turn up the craziness a little bit when he needs to. And there's the 6-6L. All right.
Yeah. Kiri just one of these players that I think does not let you get away with, you know, silly whipping in front of their face kind of shenanigans or like reaction checks on plus frames. It just seems like it's so hard to try and, you know, be greedy with your advantage when Kiri is so, you know, aware of when to react.
Fundamentally solid with like just the perfect amount of unhinged low-key. Like, yeah, it's very. Oh, okay, that's an option. Yeah. Claire showing some matchup knowledge here. Let's go. Oh yeah, that's just gonna be not your turn right there. Absolutely. Borderline wasting 50-meter right there, but that's just how it goes. That's okay.
Sometimes you send the scythe in the stone, but spending the 50-meter instead this time on Kiri's side for a clean corner conversion.
Really like how Kiri is not letting Claire get away with Soul Forge and neutral. Absolutely massive. Oh no, you're dead. That's it. Oh my goodness. the ultimate blade hits raw, and you can kiss your life bar goodbye.
Exactly.
Kiri going to be walking away with the first round.
Yeah, we only just barely left the ground, right? So we had more, like way more in that combo in case we needed it. Even with the Vaseraga HP, we're not going to survive that one. Tipper spacing on the thrust.
These characters that like restand you on the ground to not reset combo scaling, but stall it a little bit. Yeah. Oh my god, so massive in terms of like versatility and combos in this game.
Yep.
Oh, I like the neutral jump, trying to bait another throw action. Or possibly even reversal command throw. Ah, there's the regular one. Here we go. Yeah. That's going to let you buff up to your... Oh, no. Ooh. What a challenge. All right.
Yeah, sometimes you get scooped. I like the patience from Kiri, though, right? We really didn't lose a ton of health off of the command grab. We did lose a lot of space for it, though. But again, on a character like Cat, who especially with the 50-meter, has so much access to corner carry and so much access to the kill, you are big chilling with the life lead and big chilling on game number 1.
Optimizing in this game must feel like so much easier to Kiri. Like you usually have to deal with like some of these like more niche characters in the French spread games. Like Kiri represented was one of the sole Noel representatives.
Oh really? Okay.
And that was the character used to make that insane evil run a couple years ago. So like this has got to feel like, I don't want to say a walk in the park, but a little easier. And it's light wall coming out, utilizing some of these more niche options. Let's go.
Yeah, a much simpler problem set to solve, right? Even with the you know, buffs to Vaseraga, making it so that 5U kind of has this stack system that's a little bit more tricky to work around. But when Claire doesn't have any opportunity to safely put out the Soul Forge in the first place, it's still so spooky. We got the 5U, we tried to armor through, but the stomps do not let you escape the corner. One more 5U to try and escape.
I think that was a drop combo right there. I think that should have been enough to kill. Yeah, all right, good spot to throw out the reversal right there. Absolutely going to be a little bit of a gap. Oh, Dash H, hello?
Yeah, we're just trying to look for the booty bump to try and put Kiri on his toes. Still got some more armor in the 5U stack, but still finds the counter hit here for Kiri that should put him on set point.
Absolutely, one more to go. Claire, and this, oh, I forgot to check the bracket.
Yeah,
I don't know. Is this
for winners top 48 side?
Okay, yeah. All right, beautiful. So both of these players are out of pools. This is just to decide who goes out winners, losers. And right now it's looking like Kiri, unless Claire can make a little bit of a comeback here.
How do we find our way back out? Again, just has been leveraging 5U so well throughout the you know, attempts to try and advance with the stomps.
And Vaseraga doesn't really have a lot of multi-hitting options out of stance, right? So like, I think that's a pretty good reaction check. There we go. Now this is absolutely where you don't want to be. So many plus frames and just ways to bait you into throw bait action here. Kiri on the verge of taking this. Only needs one more hit, and there's the far edge counter hit. This should be more than enough. Spend the BP. Cash out with the super, say goodbye, have fun in top 48. Unfortunately, I'm moving on to winners and not you. I'm going to prove it.
As someone who kind of came into the Granblue series, or Granblue versus series towards the end of Vanilla, and then especially with Rising, hearing the stories of this character, kind of seeing the you know, WASD brackets towards the end of Vanilla's lifetime, and seeing this character go rampant, and then basically seeing her go dark, right, in the beginning of Rising, where I was like, I have not, you know, seen this character in quite some time. It's not a matchup that I've had to deal with personally, and now seeing her go crazy once again on the stakes, like.
Which is hilarious, because the very first Rising tournament, Senpai Spider won.
Yes, yeah.
I always forget about that. Like, Senpai Spider did win that, like, pretty decisively, if I remember correctly, too. I'm drawing a little bit of a blank. That feels like an eternity ago, but either way, we're going to be hopping right into this matchup. It is going to be Zane versus LabyrinthZ.
Yeah, let's see if we can weather the storm. Of course, we got Zephyr to be tricky with the air movement on LabyrinthZ side, but again, once you have those seals set up, it's scary to commit to keeping Zane out.
Yeah, it's got a butterfly
behind it at least.
This dude's hit and run game plan is oh god, it is scary. Oh yeah, that's a little bit of a mistake right there. Got to cover it with the DP. I like that decision from Zane.
Yeah, no counter hit on the 1H, so I'm not going to get too much off of it and still put back into the corner with these seals, but counter hit 2H and with the butterfly behind it, you're going to cash off quite a bit here for LabyrinthZ.
I respect you so much for knowing the difference between 2H and 1H. I after 5 years, have still not learned it.
I only knew because I was playing with a friend, and I was like, oh, I'll try out Metera for the first time. I was like, why is her 2H so bad? And they were like, you are not hitting 2H. I'm like, I'm literally down backing and hitting H. And they're like, no. She has a 1H that hits above her, which is really nice, again, for Grimnir, right, when we have these seals, and you want to be able to have that anti-air that hits directly above your head, but it makes your inputs, you know, a little bit more necessary to be precise.
You have to be precise. That's a perfect way to put it. Yeah. Speaking of precise, this dude is the king.
Yeah.
Oh,
Threads the needle with such a life lead to try and make up here, but again, with so many ways to try and set up the seals behind that H fireball, even when LabyrinthZ is doing very well in the beginning of the round, you know, I'm saying, oh, you have to commit to zone them out. But again, as you set up Great Fall and you have Butterfly, you know, you don't have to play super committal here to try and, you know, play at that full screen range. But once we get the 5U, once we get the dash and we're at this awkward mid-range or above your head, that's when you really have to start committing to keeping Grimnir out.
Even on block, that was a block button moment for sure right there. The drift was so egregious, my goodness. Now Zane's going to be able to set it up again. Yo, we got the swag route too hard, knockdown.
Ooh, empty low off of it too.
Yo, Zane, for those of you that don't know or don't remember, still a very good Dragon Ball player, so not very used to dealing with these chaotic screen positions. And wow, that's going to do it. Oh my God. I blinked. I'm like, whoa, when did he build the meter, dog?
Exactly. This guy is no stranger to the scramble. Didn't even need the super for it for the kill.
Most def. All right, game one going to Zane. LabyrinthZ is going to have to get something going, but that is going to be very hard from the corner right now. Still has two seals. Excuse me. Are we gonna set it again? No.
BDH Fireball tries to go for what I assume is a butt throw tech, but again, the throw bait coming out from Zane. The TK air dash down, and now with the 100 meter in tow, we spend the Raging Strike. This should be the kill.
Barring any drops, should have this. There's the super again. Thank you very much, Zane. True to form, finishing this off with a perfect. My goodness. All right. Can anyone stop this? Oh, I thought that was the last round.
I thought so
goodness.
too, yeah. I mean, they've just been going so fast that it's hard to keep track. All right, stand on business with the Butterfly. Trying to stand in between these seals, so it's, you know, a little bit trickier to try and find the TK air dash. All right, run up behind the Butterfly. Not trying to be too greedy with the spacing. I like it from LabyrinthZ.
Ah, there it is. And you got the Butterfly. No! Dropped it! You had the Butterfly!
Yeah, just a little bit too late, or maybe a little bit early, and it detonated before he ended up landing in it. But either way, the double air dash, no frame trap found, but still, we take the skies one more air dash to send it home, but still not enough.
Air-to-air conversions. Oh my goodness. All right. Good spot dodge in the old skill. Walk out. No!
Oh.
Respected a little too much. And LabyrinthZ is going to be eating another fat combo in the corner. Still needs at least one more hit right here.
Oh, there we go. Off-screen 50-50 time. Guess for your life! It's not the empty low. We keep it simple with the high and with the 100. Did he drop the combo?
I don't know. I'm going to be so real. As soon as that hit happened, I
put mine on auto, yeah.
Nah.
Or with no music, yeah.
I play with no sound most of the time.
I put on Spotify.
Yeah. My ADHD means I need to have a movie, a podcast, a
Subway
call with my
Surfer,
friends.
yeah.
It's real bad.
Discord VC, 7 streams, dog cam, cat cam, 5 PS5s, a bunch of wires.
Man, do I have anxiety? Is that
It's like, am I realizing something live on broadcast?
Oh no, I'm medicated. Unfortunately, not this weekend because I forgot.
That's how it goes.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great. Yeah, stay tuned for more unhinged action here at CEO in 2025.
But I imagine the nerves for these players are also going pretty high, right?
Absolutely.
You know, as calm as they look on the stands here and as happy as they are to be pulling up, this is, again, a winner's side top 48 qualifier of both of them qualifying out of pools, but you want to stay in that winner's side and have that double elim chance.
Micropene, I think, just did round start 66H, and that is unhinged, and it worked, and I'm so here for it. BSG's got to be thinking about that one.
I wonder if that keeps you right out of range of like round start far M from Boss, right? Because we see a lot of round start 66H from Zero Charlotta as well, right? But I imagine Soriz is a bit larger of a hurt box.
Yeah, you could definitely say that again.
All right, we got the 5U applied here for BSG, just holding on to the down back.
Oh, there it is. Yo, that is so fast, brother. So fast, and that's the throw bait right there. Except it was a BC. We're going to ignore that. Either way.
Reversal bait. Trying to fight your way back out.
Micropene looking pretty confident here in round one. It's always so hard to bet against BlueSkyGuy, but wow, we are seeing the action right here.
Yeah, these are seeming like some pretty informed choices on round start, right? Now looking for round bang to catch something out, but 5U ends up putting you back into the corner and the whiff on the trigger.
Still got the stock there, but yeah, this is a really bad position and not quite what you were looking for. Gonna get the hard knockdown. No, keeping it going actually. All right, ult skill is the extension.
Yeah, 2H ender. We have the 5U stock. Go, no soul force left, but Micropene.
Yeah, buff up, son. Absolutely.
Yeah, negotiate off the SSBA, but sniped out of the skies. EP action. No roll through, actually. All right, just going to go for you Instinction once again. We're charged up. We have a couple stocks, but still we're in chip damage range. Anything blocks kills, and so does the armored tackle.
All right, BSG answering right back here in game 1. Let's see what we got. Micropene absolutely not out of this yet. Hell of a whiff on round start. Goes unpunished. Both these players look like they're still feeling each other out a little bit.
Yeah, 5U for 5U. For the full screen, I imagine we were looking for a tackle from BSG, but instead just opting to take the armor.
And that's what I want to see more from BSG. Start layering in these command throws more. You have to start making Micropene think twice about the 5U. Here we go.
There we go. I think Micropene was in the same wavelength as you, looking for that command grab, trying to bait something out or jump out, but then finally got caught once we did the whiff sight. Ooh.
Oh, goodness gracious. All right.
Man grab action.
Oh, no. Had the right idea, but spaced out a little too far. All right.
I thought the Sauce would have put you in range at that point.
For real.
On the limit, just barely saving you. Might have been able to kill with a Raging Strike, but either way, one more touch, one more stomp puts game number 1 on BSG's side.
Had a good start there, but yeah, PSG was able to bring that back. Just control the pace of that match way better after that first round. First round's down mode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, first round Micropene actually just like ran away with it. It felt like it was 2-3 interactions with really big starters that ended up working up so well, right? It was 6-6H, then it was Ultimate Punch.
Yep. Ultimate Axe Kick too, I think, was in there somewhere.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
The Nudiser, the Thinker, as we head into game number 2 here from Micropene, trying to tie things back up.
That's crazy. I don't think I've ever called a Soriz player a Thinker before. Just
few such
Soriz
cases.
Players. Here we go. All right. Micropene going to be, ooh, 6XL in the corner. That means we're going to get a full combo here. A little reset into the ground pound.
Yep. Looking for some plus frames here. Caught up with the tackle.
Might have caught the start of a 5U right there. Micropene clearly wanted something to counter the tackle.
Yeah. Saw the U Instinction. I was wondering if we were going to go for another 5U apply for the Soul Forge, but instead just trying to bet it all on the stomp.
As soon as you saw that spot dodge, BSG said that, bro. When you're thrown. Is this enough to kill? Oh, yes, it is. Had to layer in 1 diamond after the ult skill there just to make sure. But hey, it killed. So we are going to take that Blue Sky Guy 1 round away from sending Micropene to losers.
Yeah, when you're looking for lethal and you're up against combo limit, again, the base damage of Raging Strike just does so much, right? So sometimes what you got to route into.
Yes, that's it. That's the reaction I want. Thank you.
All right, punch the stars. Here from the 5L though.
Oh, back at you, brother. Back at you. I got armor too, son.
Ooh, Growl. Okay, the swing into 5U is so smart from BSG, just trying to bait out the Growler and then also getting armor for it, right? Because you're locked into that follow-up. If you choose to spend it.
Soul Forge hits raw, and son, you are in danger.
Plus is getting cooked as we speak, but finally lets the U impact Knuckle Rock.
Definitely got a chance here. You have no meter though, Micropene. Yeah, that's gonna do it right there. Only 1 diamond left. I don't even know if the damage buff was really a factor there, but either way,
You're the Zeta guy. Yeah.
You're the Zeta guy. Oh man.
All right, heading on into it. Loser side, Topher versus Link Pendrago, trying to fight their way back out here to secure that top 48 spot.
We got the lore intro too. Okay. Oh no, she's not innocent. Watch out, it's a trap. She's like, very evil.
This is like Honeydew, like Winter Melon Cagliostro. I've never seen this palette before.
Winter Melon goes hard. Yeah,
right?
little too green for like mint chocolate chip.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh, she's got the BL book. Maybe it's like Lemon Cagliostro. Anyway, close L to pick up after the air-to-air conversion here from Link Pendrago.
Yo, good super jump in, going right around the spear there. Let's see if Link. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, restand up the ultimate Setsuna.
Link got the combos. Let's go, bro. Plus frames. Ooh. Little jump in and the empty jump low. Yo, that's a Melty Blood player in him right there, son. Yeah, a little high-low.
Yeah, tried to bait out the throw, ended up recovering in time for the 2L, but like you said, right, not ready for the empty low. Topher having a hard time escaping the corner right now. No check on the neutral jump JH.
Not going for the dash M to switch sides right there, and Link very cognizant of the fact that I need to keep the corner. All right, here we go. Now you're going to have to play some defense. What you got, son?
Ooh, yeah, they're calling this character the best grappler in the game. Shout out Zangief Dream, right? So pulling up with a throw bait. We had the seal right on top and ready for the punish as we head back down. It's all coming up Cagliostro, but it's 1 touch apiece.
Still my favorite SBA, SSBA
it's
in
so
this
sick.
game.
Yeah.
It's so sick.
Seeing gold, and we're seeing the gold on the letters. That's a down for Topher. Round number 1 after a pretty big swing in health.
Yeah, Link had control of that round for pretty much the entire thing, right up until the end.
Yes.
And now we will see if he can navigate the Cagliostro neutral. 2U is going to check, and yeah, this puts you in a rough spot. Little sandwich setup. Good jump. All right.
I like the immediate walk back at the side swap TP from Link Pendrago, just saying, all right, I have to hit the seal eventually anyway. I know you're trying to look for an overhead threat as well, so I'm just going to detonate it on my own accord, but a little bit too far for the throw to land.
Might have been a block stun thing too there. Oh, I like this setup, but yeah, accurately called out with the mash from Link. Good stuff. Love the recognition.
Yep. All right, walk back far age. Nothing found off the airborne poke.
Sometimes you just whiff punish. Oh, never mind. Never mind. This is it right here.
All right, that was kind of nasty.
Yeah. And that's a punish. Oh, no. Link, do you have it? Yeah, spend it. Do it again. You don't need to. You don't need to. You know what you're doing. You got this.
I know we have some Flip Merchant haters in the chat, in the community, but I got to say the behind the back, the punish on that air stall, the J22U,
yes.
That was peak. That was Chef's Kiss.
Yeah, well, that wasn't slop. That was clinical.
That's what I'm saying. That's 3 stars.
Here we go. All right, little 2M check. Still holding the corner right here. Oh! Ooh. A little too far away for the jumping button to come down. Topher accurately calls out with a mash.
The anti-air on the spear too, just barely reaching.
Yeah. There it is. Once again, we're flipping everywhere. Okay.
Okay. All right, plus flames off the ultimate crescent moon, so we're just looking for the DP to escape.
Again. Again. Oh. Link's mind game is like, Link's one of those cats that like tricks you into thinking he's a mindless monkey mashing. Yeah. He is not.
And then he can slow it down, right? He can like change it at the drop of the pin.
Yeah, his adjustment game, like when he locks in, is actually pretty solid. Like I gotta give him credit.
Okay, not gonna get torpedoed this time, but instead looking for the reaction DP on the blue flash. I like it.
Absolutely. Now Link has no BP, is going to be forced to play some defense, and now Chip is a factor. Close, heavy is getting connected. Yeah, even he knows, all right, I got a little too antsy right there. Ain't no thing.
You got me. You got me. I thought we would go for a tick throw.
Oh, man. That is very representative of the pace these two are playing.
Yes.
So, like, it's really hard to fault Link right there. Oh, no. All
right, now we can fault him.
Now we're going to fault him for that one. Sorry, bro. Oh,
the drop, but we call it a reset. Yeah, mash on hit. All right, Topher cashing out on mad damage here. The side. No!
That was like 70% off a reset.
Yeah,
oh
exactly.
God.
We definitely got our damage, but it's rough with the positioning, yeah.
And then Link drops it himself right there. Still very much anybody's game right here, but Link, I was going to say, finally called out for super jump shenanigans right there.
Goodbye
Cash
forever.
out with the super. Goodbye forever. You said it.
Yeah, send it straight to the meat grinder. Pick up off of the seal. Now Topher, set point. Should be top 48 qualifier. Let me double check that in the bracket.
Already, yeah, and this is not both out. Only one of these two cats moves on.
That's
the other
right.
is done for the weekend. Oh, good block in the teleport. Accurately calls out the gap with the DP.
Oos. Okay, punish on the, what's called the slash is the Kyoka a little bit too close.
Speaking of punishes, you're going to get a little, not a whole lot off that. No no corner to your back.
Oos. Attack. Being chilling.
Pretty significant life lead right here. You just have to play some good defense if you're Link.
Yeah.
Topher's game plan is good. Yeah, I was going to say, so reactive. The DP game has leveled up in a big way waiting for these crescent moons.
I mean, once we're in the skies, right, if we see a blue flash, we can react to it very consistently with the DP, but I like that we've incorporated that into our game plan, right? Not trying to waste the DP preemptively. J22U behind the back with a J-Ace to counter hit. Gets you a clean confirmed. Topher still not going to find the kill. Tries to check with the overhead, but Link stays alive.
I wish y'all could have seen the face Link just made, man. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's how it. Oh,
no! But you still live. With the no escape throw, just trying to BC out on the throw detonation. No DP sung from Topher, but finally lets it rock.
I really like that second to last crescent moon. Had spaced it out a little bit where if Topher had actually gone for the DP, I would have whipped straight up. Used it more of as a movement option to navigate that pretty like deceptively big Cagliostro 2H, which absolutely would have hit
Ringo.
This might actually be our last match.
I believe so. Coming up on the end of our time, yeah?
Yeah, indeed.
Still some more pools action. No!
Oh, yeah.
Why is he doing the Chikawa, bro?
Make the funny faces. Absolutely. All right.
That character is from Chikawa, but I forget their name. Mogu something. You guys can remind me in the chat. But either way, game number one between these gamers, of course, JetSetRingo has the onus of approaching, right? We have some pretty strong tools to do so once we have 5U, but it's getting that first, Forge applied that's going to be so difficult.
Forge and 50 meter is going to make a huge deal for this matchup right here. And if you're Miyoxer, you almost like don't want to play rushdown exactly, but you want to play good hit runs.
Exactly. Ooh, swap up to the ultimate instinction. We have not been seeing that. We have been seeing a lot of good 2Hs and 1Hs coming out from the Metera so far.
Definitely good info for JetSetRingo if your opponent's going to be on point with the... Oh, no. Never mind. Forget anything about jumping. It is all about the spot dodge on the shoulder charge.
There we go. There we go. Little mash out here. We got the fireballs. The ultimate stomp just stopped in your tracks here. 50 for 50 on Meox's side.
Narrowly avoiding the air unblockable right there, and it is going to be the standing medium that anti-airs JetSetRingo.
Yep.
I feel like I say this every time, Metera's M buttons are so good. 2M is a great poke at certain ranges, and standing M anti-airs at some very, very whack positions. All right, Butterfly's out, trying to take some space right here.
Yep.
Yeah, JetSetRingo is having a hell of a time getting in, but there it is. All right, that command throw's coming out. Buff up, son.
Yeah, there we go. We're back out to full screen, but I mean, when you have the threat of the armor, you're really not trying to swing into that even at the full screen from Metera. But there we go. Butterfly keeps you locked down with a multi-hit.
Yoxer's doing a really good job of spot dodging his ult skill so far. Very consistent. Ooh! Oh, that's gonna hurt. Oh no, my
It's a grounded starter. It refunds on hit. It tracks your opponent even if they run past the butterfly. Like, it is a stellar use of 50 meter here for Metera.
Spending the 50, getting the refund. JetSetRingo still has plenty of meter to go here, but and a little bit of a life deficit. If you keep taking these stray hits, it is gonna. Oh no! Ooh. But for who? Oh, okay, no, not enough to kill, and a little too far away from the corner to get the full conversion.
Call the ambulance for someone. I know command grab just barely puts you at a sliver of health here, so instead swinging through for the chip damage, but it's not enough. Meoxer takes game number 1.
JetSetRingo is in danger. There's the smile though. Yo, I love this cat, bro. Like, win or lose, it doesn't matter. We're here to have a good time.
It's love of the game. It's love of the game.
Absolutely. All right. Hard to have a smile on your face when you're playing against Metera too. Big respect for that.
You know, that's like an EX difficulty, I gotta say.
For real.
S-tier rage bait.
S-tier rage bait, indeed. That being said, Ringo's doing a better start, I would say, this round at least. We're buffed up. Walk on him. Yeah. Yeah, that's the right spot to see out. Good stuff.
Yeah, and ultimate butterfly as well. Just keeps you straight locked up in the sky for the air unblockable.
Absolutely what we're trying to set up, and now it's coast to coast. Finally doesn't spot dodge the ultimate fireball.
Yep.
Oh man, see, this is so hard. Like, you get a hit, and then you're right back to full screen.
Yeah. Ooh, there we go. Spot dodge to the U Instinction, just barely staying alive. Chip damage might have put you in kill range there.
Oh,
second butterfly just waiting at the top. Double spot dodge.
So scary right there. The DP, finally gets baited. First Metera DP we've seen this afternoon, and it gets baited. That's there's a metaphor in there somewhere.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Felt the fear of God, just trying to fight your way back out, but there we go. A round up here for JetSetRingo.
Big whiff on round star. Goes unpunished. Yep, that's what I want to see more of. Start like really layering those command throws in. We're seeing a lot of spot dodges in. That's a counter.
5H action, double of the U Instinction. JetSetRingo just trying to find any opportunity to safely put up the Soul Forge, but instead, now you're going to hold this ultimate butterfly, I say, as we're getting hit.
There it is. All right. Yeah, see, this range right here, JetSetRingo's like way too respectful, low-key. Like, see, this is what I want to see. Absolutely. Ooh. Thank you. That's it right there. You have the meter. Cash out. Spend that super, son. Yeah.
Ooh. All right, there we go. Felt a little bit more confidence, and we're like, wait, I have the armor. I have the stomps. Why am I trying to bait out a reversal when instead I can just armor on through and put the onus on Meoxer to be the one to try and escape?
And on the flip side, the one time he did go for the reversal, you did call it out. Yeah. So, like, I see the vision, but yeah, it's right now you have to work on the ultimate spot dodges if you're JetSetRingo. Those are killing it. Yep.
All right, 5M snipes JetSetRingo out of the sky, but still trying to make our advance. Gradually chipping away at the HP, a resource in and of itself.
Oh no, that is tragic. The Oaks are going to be able to get, a little bit of a setup here. Oh, okay, misses the spot dodge on the ultimate fireball. And this is how it starts right here.
Yep, found the sweep, the tackle brings us all the way over to the other corner. Combo ender into the Soul Forge.
Oh, see, I'm saying command throw, bro, command throw. You see that respect that your opponent's giving you? Command throw.
Waiting it off of the 2M, no punish. Caught out with the ultimate arrow. I really thought ultimate butterfly, or EX rather, was going to catch us.
Yeah, I was very worried about that. There it is. All right. All right, so that might have actually been the closest round we've had so far.
Right.
The Oaks are able to claw it back, but JetSetRingo, again, just needs to find a way to really capitalize on this corner pressure, honestly.
There we go, swept up here from the full screen. Set point Meoxer. Again, like you're saying, this awkward right outside of point blank range. has been a little bit too respectful from JetSet, but maybe a little bit too greedy with these two M's now.
Fine line to ride, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a cross-up input. Yup,
Yep.
you are absolutely going to get punished for that.
Run up Zephyr, just barely out of the corner. I really did not think JetSetRingo was going to get crossed up there.
Same.
Ooh.
That's a problem. 50 meter, we're going to spend
Sliver,
25.
right? Yeah.
I don't even think Sliver. I think you got a little bit more. Yeah, you got a chunk.
Outside of throw range. Gradually, we're chipping away. Ultimate arrow stops the approach.
Chip damage is a big factor right here. Meowser on the verge of taking this out. Good spot dodge on the ultimate arrow. Here we go. We have a chance.
Still able to escape with the jump out. We have a little bit more before the chip damage, but that is the kill, Meowser. Gotta be able to seal it out with a 2-0, but not without a fight from JetSetRingo. Knocked out here right before that top 48 side.
Wow, hell of a set. That was a good way to round out the block for sure. JetSet, some so cold.
Especially can just do either if you do forward or back, you can just go bam 5H and you just get hit. As we're getting a little bit of love shown to the camera here. I think they're showing some Gundam on the phone.
They were. I missed it.
I think so. Yeah, I think there was a little bit of Gundam action going on there.
I'm pretty sure, because, correct me if I'm wrong, Lucas, Silverback was also in the Gundam bracket at CEO Taku, am I not mistaken? That's right.
Okay.
Our resident, chat, don't kill me for this one, Death Sight player, I'm pretty sure. We had a handful of Death Sights in that bracket.
Alrighty, but the weapons that we are wielding are the Virtuous Contract and the Virtuous Treaty on the 2B coming in on the left, flanked by the Pod, and on the right side, the Earthly Dragon and Galleon. So to kick off our block, we got a couple of DLC characters. One of them not so much from around here, but one of them very much still getting accustomed to the ways of the Sky Dwellers, but still godly nonetheless.
Absolutely.
Oh, whoa!
Okay, all right. Hey, test the gangster real early. Test the gangster. But gangster being shown right there. Just run up into the 2L, but jump on over. Try to go to the primordial grasp, but nothing doing there.
Yeah, the grasp will work only on crouching opponents if you start the combo that way. If they're standing, you're not going to get that conversion there. Ooh, all right. We are really reaching for some of these reversals here from Shimapansu.
All right, but we still get the walk up into the light, Raging Strike, and then end it with the 623H. Send the big old rock down and then set it up as well. But got caught with the wire skill right there, and the pod coming out with the ultimate skill right there, and the big old laser going to confirm into the first round win for Silverback.
Yeah, absolutely. That stand medium special is certainly going to be a threat. That wire, right? That almost instantaneous projectile here. Galleon, of course, doesn't have quite a lot to really answer back for at the start of. Wow, the down special actually will really help out here for Shima.
Yeah, 5U, a little bit of counter zoning shown there, and then still going for the anti-air grab in a really dead neutral situation, but now we get the counter hit, or the crouching hit, I should say. Not going to be able to get the full route, but the plus frames after the 236H unfortunately cannot maximize it, allowing Silverback a chance to match on out of there. Going to go for the full wire extension, severing Assault Ender to get the knockdown. Yes, we do.
Oh, geez, trying to stick it with the 2L. Very risky business against 2B. Nice. Got the command grab here from the sky. All right, 5U. Drop the rock.
Whoop. Oh, that is so tough. Just the spacing was just off when you were mad punishable there. But, oh, there we go. 5H going to come out. Still long-reaching swords of 2B going to catch you at any range that you're trying to operate with unless you're trying to put out that rock. But didn't have any imminent threat there, so we're just swinging that big old heavy butt.
Yeah, I wonder if we were thinking that maybe the command grab spacing, because I believe that was the ult command grab that was supposed to come out here, was going to connect as Silverback came running into it. Not the case here. You see how threatening that 5H is. Nice jump in here, calling out the medium series. We got to stop routing command grab. We need to go for the standing special, just the 5S, or into ult special as well, because then you can at least get that wall bounce. All right, challenge. Try to go for Raging Chain.
Oh, mashing out on the shimmy attempt right there.
Nice.
And then getting the anti-air grab one more again. Imagine we're going to set up the rock again. We are. 2B being a lot of respect to it. But then the same thing that happened in the previous game, just setting out the wire while you were trying to command space. Silverback saying, I'm just still going to get in there, and we're going to get much of the same burst as we got in the first.
Yeah, that back medium special able to close the gap here if you try to zone. Jump in, no follow-up. There's the H. Easy. I know we got the counter hit H. Follow this up. 5U is nice, but try to get the pickup there. There's not enough hits done on that. So, again, if you're going to go for the 5H counter hit, EX special works out. You can go right into that ult special, get the wall bounce. It's a little iffy at that range, but caveat, because of how close it is, you don't have to go for the dash H conversion. You can hit just a standard 5H and end it that way.
That's pretty nice. Yeah, we just need to see a little bit more consistency in the routes regardless, like you were saying, going for a lot of the primordial grass routes when they're not necessarily going to confirm as such. Had a chance right there, getting these jumps to hit a lot, going over the normals being represented by Silverback, but again, not making the most of those opportunities.
Rock would help out there. Without the rock setup, that 5U just kind of goes off to the wayside. I think you could go for the light throw after the just raw 5U. Whoa, you thought you could backdash.
Tried to back out of this basic one more again, but again, that same interaction, setting up that heavy rock, but nothing doing when the wire is available to 2B. Mind that skill meter, but you're also going to have to mind that health gauge because 2B is definitely taking away a lot of it with that SSBA.
Oh no, dash out does actually block it out. Okay, wait a minute, but ran into 2M. Little finicky at the end right there, but man, Shiba Pantsu, she put on a great show to showcase a little bit of what Galleon can do, but even Silverback out here with the 2B.
Really good tools, of course. One of the characters that has really great ways to play around the strong universal mechanic that is Brave Counter by using that 5U, that Wall of Light, and getting a huge reward off of it, but also just having a very good and rewarding mid-range game and fireball game. But I think there are just a lot of characters that, or a few characters that I feel people are just like, hey, they have tools that put them a little bit over her at the moment.
Yeah, she does have that consistency, the potency to kind of quarter carry, do a ton of damage. JL.
Okay, I cannot remember the last time I've seen Katalina JL. I'm not going to lie to you. But I haven't seen that run up into 2L. Got the whiff on the spot dodge attempt, but we still get the auto combo after the fact, but we're missing out on these routes, unfortunately, but not going to miss out on a chance to get this 236U. Another really strong another strong tool that Katalina has access to.
Absolutely. Quick short damage combo. Try to get the BC, and yo, you weren't looking for the reaching strike. I wouldn't either. Honestly, I'm getting hit too.
Yeah, I mean, like, sometimes you just get hit by Raging Strike. That's just Granblue Fantasy versus Rising for the PlayStation 5.
Scooped up.
Oh, no, the clash of the beams, but not able to pick up on the confirm after the fact. Unfortunate situation for the God Pop-Tart, but a fortunate for L to close out that round one there for Lutolo.
Great jump right there. Honestly, the neutral, but fair enough because it would have whiffed on that first 5H from 2B.
Dragon, the hard knockdown sweep into the fireball. Great extension right there. Get all the corner carry that you can, but we meet in the mines, meet in the skies, live at that nice little air-to-air from 2B.
Stacker series here. Maybe change just to get that corner position. Ooh. Interesting. Wait a minute. We weren't too far off to get the back EX special there, but still dropped out.
Able to get that sweep, finding the mark, and also being able to bait out the DP attempt from 2B. Full conversion as well. Going to go into the 236. Still a little bit left on the table, but just needed to hit him on the dome piece with the jump in, and that is going to be Lutolo with the Game 1 victory over the God Pop-Tart. Some good stuff there from the cat early.
Yeah, honestly, Lutolo making a smart call to go for the ultimate route as opposed to right to SSBA, because we've already reduced as much as we could in terms of Brave points. There was one left on the God Pop-Tart, but we're still getting a ton of damage. Next reset would have finished the job, whereas SSBA would have left you with no resources.
Oh, no. Wow, that was a very high jump in, so I could see where they were going for with that Raging Strike not working out, but we still get the right time to challenge defensively. But again, missing out on these confirms. Had all the time in the world. The crumple state gives you so much time on that 236U, so now you're giving God Pop-Tart a chance to get the offense started. But again, fantastic challenge. Can we get the 236U this time around? No, but they still mashed. Got the counter hit, and just, again, the JL. Now I've seen it twice. There you go.
Do something about it. What are you going to do? 2H me? That'd be devastating, actually.
I know, yeah, I was going to say that. I was going to say, please don't do that. Oh, just okay, but we're going to run up 2H's 2B in neutral round start options. All right. Okay, you know what? I'm learning a lot today. I really am learning a lot today, and I love it. I love it.
You are?
Yeah, I am. I am. Run up 2H, sometimes it's just going to work.
Sometimes
it's just going to
you
work.
just got to live like the main character.
Look, they're down there, and I'm in here, so what does that say? Especially since God Pop-Tart is going to be able to take the round after starting with that run up 2H. So, some little strategy. Put that in the dust loop, y'all.
It's the shock and awe.
The shock and awe.
That's
exactly.
what we'll have. The 2H, why did they do that to me? Are they actually a genius? Wait.
I've never seen this before. Is this
tech?
tech? Is this tech? Oh, it didn't work. Oh,
60% of the time, it works all the time. You know?
that doesn't make any sense.
Right, not quite getting the thrust there, down and out on resources, but at the very least got a little bit of corner. Run up to you. Convert this God Pop-Tart. Show me why the brown sugar's good. Why is it maple and brown
I didn't even realize that that's what's on the line right now. You got, okay, so we got brown sugar on the line right now, so here we go. 2-3-6-U though, again, missing out on these chances to extend into him. It was a little bit further out, so might have not trusted that hit, but gonna trust in that far M to cap things off right there. Lucolo taking full advantage of the long reach of the Albion Fencer's sword.
Interrupt the forward approach. That'll interrupt thrust if we try to get a little too cheeky at full screen range. Of course, ult special coming from Katalina is a great equalizer in terms of spacing. Get the crumple state, and you at least gain a little bit of ground in a full screen scenario. But for the most part, this is going to be a matchup you don't get to see too often because of the lack of Zoe representation on the online space. And Sin has a lot of great ways to close the gap. The forward special going to be a strong tool for that. But we'll see how it plays out. The opening gambit, the buffer, you know, quite the threat. The medium dragon call, and there it is. Forward special to leap right over thrust.
Nice spinning slash to close the gap, as my co-commentator alluded to, and already putting them in a really good spot right there. Getting the counter hit confirmed on that 6-6L. Going to be able to set up in the corner here. Going to go into medium dragon right there. Now just going to sit at that 2M far H distance, being able to threaten so many different approach options right there. Tough spot to be in for anybody. Catalina going to have to find a way out.
I mean, at this point, what the fear is that Sin has no Dragon Gauge. And you're really trying to test the temperament of Nelso here, because if you do try to make that jump, you are going to get anti-air, right? So you're trying to buy as much time, giving Nelso no escape opportunities so you can build up Dragon Gauge, which only just came back.
Not going to really need too much of it, though. Just need the resource in the Bravery Point to get that Raging Chain extension. Sin being able to take that first round expeditiously. All that talk about taking a little bit for her to get started. Sin just saying, forget about that. I just needed that one hit, and I'm good to go.
Exactly. Quick conversions here. The thrust to start things off. Close the gap. Like the delay pressure. Was looking for the close heavy counter hit.
I love using that Heavy Thunder on block to push them into the corner right there to really get them in that position that you want to be as Zoe. But not going to have a lot to capitalize with it. Oh, but it had the chance to do it with that little bit left on that Dragon Gauge. Got the counter hit on the M Dragon, just didn't have the touch. So Nelso64 going to be able to back throw them on out of
there. Ooh, quite the jab, and nice confirm with the Raging Chain. Super here, but at the very least, you're maintaining that lead. Nice ult. DP out, safe jump side swap. Special light. Yeah, that was a concern there. If you committed to light wall, the punish was imminent.
All right, Dragon Gauge still running out a little bit. A huge opportunity right there with that thrust going right into the face of Zoe, but no punish. So we get a chance to get our counter hit, Brave counter to get out of there. One of these throws have really been putting a little bit of mental stack onto Sin defensively. So you'd love to see that represented, but as soon as you represent the 2-3-6-U, I'm ready with the SSBA. Not going to be a full cinematic, but gets the job done and narrows the gap in that life bar, and it's going to be able to take it completely out of the question there. Nice counter poke with the 2M, and then the counter, and then the 2-1-4-H to finish it off.
Very good stuff here. Sin almost losing the control in the final moments of that second round, but still coming out on top for a game here. Jeez, that's how we feel? And to throw? Okay, all right, my bad.
All right, yeah, no, minus frames are just a state of mind right there, you know? All right, just run up with the 6-6L, winning that war between the advancing normals. Sin, again, putting them into this corner expeditiously. That has to be the MO here, but recognizing the urgency of the situation, DP on out of there, Nelso64 now getting a chance to get started. Nice swift punish on the thrust.
Knocking at the door here with these lights. Ah, missed the dash input. A little finicky here, comes back dash, a shimmy, not opening up his Nelso. Until now, but no confirmed.
Oh, tried to go for a throw bait there because they were representing it so well, but Sin, aware of that, just saying in the back of my mind, I know you were trying to establish that mental stack. I'm not biting, and if I have to take a throw, I've got so much life to do it, but now you don't have enough because I've done it a couple times, and you can't take too many throws right there. Sin, really good stuff there, round one.
That awareness here to not get called out by the throw bait, make a massive counter hit. See, spot dodge the thrust, but a little too early there. freeze, nice. Very counterfeit here, just to push out, pushing with the medium dragon. So fascinating throughout the set how willing Sin is to just drain that entire dragon meter. And still play a strong neutral game here.
Trying to sit there with that 2M, but feels like Nelson is having a hard time establishing that poke war game, but okay, getting the throw once again. Got a counter hit right there, not quite ready to confirm the hit, so we're still in the health bar deficit. But gotta be careful if you're Nelson throwing out these fireballs, because that SSBA has already been shown. We've got those reactions.
It is a risk that we could take with this massive life lead, but in terms of games, like, yeah, one mistake away from death. There's a 2M launch. We are in the corner. There it is. SSBA? No, goes for ult just for the damage here.
Get the Dragon Gauge build back up as well, so next touch can be fully capitalized on, but you already did do enough, and there you go. Send out that fireball. We were ready with the SSBA because we wanted to make sure the next call out would kill Sin, the SSBA. Peak cinema right there. To forget.
5U being able to convert from low into rock. That time is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, on the other end, I imagine that we're going to see the newly minted version of Soulforge being used a lot when Galleon's trying to create space to be able to set up that rock, to be able to even, you know, represent that 5U if we're sitting at a range where it will connect versus like a far M attempt from your opponent. And just being able to just say, forget about that, I've got armor and, you know, even more armor for days, so I can just get on in there and just start my offense. And that's where Galleon does not want to be. Not one of the greatest defensive characters in the game. So that's where Vaseraga can absolutely run wild in this matchup. But how about a round start 5U to catch the fireball?
This 5U, get away from me, please, and thank you. Shoulder check. The rock is still a threat. There it is. Dash H conversion. There's the ult. Oh, no, too far. Really? Maybe it had to have just been too late.
Maybe. Oh, but again, finding these counter hits with these rock placements. Very good stuff here from Zero. I believe actually named after the Granblue character Zero Karte. So maybe just very excited that this Galleon character is out. Maybe a gotcha enjoyer, but definitely an enjoyer of these rocks coming right down on the dome of Vaseraga. And yeah, there you go. Oh, the 623H not going to connect there because of combo limit, but we're not in the worst spot in the world. But we're fighting back out. A Vaseraga cornered could be tough, but 236U coming out again.
There it is. Yeah, you know what? Thank goodness another rock comes dropping down from the forward special of Galleon here. Still very tricky to punish, but also pretty dangerous move to have. Shoulder check, round start. No 5U hope for you. The dash L also going to get shut down.
Yeah, you're right. That far end is crazy. Jumping
I'm
over
telling
the
you.
rock. Wow.
Far M, don't even get me started about the 5H.
5H is good. Far H is very good. Even on block, like it's crazy. All right, here we go, though. Going to use our own command grab as an ender right there. The sweep punish on the attempted Raging Strike. We're still being able to create that distance. Good spot dodge right there to get the back throw enabled. And then ultimate primordial grasp. Give me a little bit of a hug.
Shane? No, to suspend it. Okay, probably. Well, yeah, because Overlord wouldn't spend it back. That's my last brave point. I want to hold on to it, but there it is. And that's going to be the crazy thing, right? So on paper, because of the armor from Vaseraga, it gets a little tricky in the neutral. In corner, I feel like Galleon has a lot of tools to make things a nightmare for Overlord if they don't know the matchup. There's a few tells you can kind of deal with here. Try to roll that rock. Got to spot dodge that scenario as opposed to roll.
All right, using our mediums to prod at Vaseraga in this corner. So just as much as Galleon doesn't want to be on defense, Vaseraga, oh my God. Okay, wait a minute. I was going to talk about that, but the set play right there. Being able to get that setup going and convert it into an SBA. Fantastic stuff there from Zero.
I almost feel like the Zero had a late setup on the down EX special there. Oh God!
A lot of recovery on that, but it goes unpunished.
Nice, try to jab here with the 5L, but Overlord with the alt command grab. We are just fishing for the EX special there at that point. Nice shoulder check. You don't have any meter to back this up. I don't know about that Raging Strike. I mean, I guess darn if you do, darn if you don't because of the life point that you're at, but man, you could have saved yourself at least a little bit more in terms of damage that Sierra was capable of outputting on you.
Yeah, Yeah, definitely. It was going to be a hard hill to climb up regardless, but you want to definitely maximize the advantage that you can get after that situation. Woo. But catching the tall man right there with the anti-air command grab, we've seen that thrown out a lot in neutral, despite the recovery of the move and the fact that it can whiff on crouchers as well. People are still being very liberal with the move, so very surprising to see that. But there you go, the armor to get in on the 5U attempt. Vaseraga can now get things started. Look at that Brawlic Far M, the newly buffed move that gives us such a stronger poke, but finding time to get on out of there. Sierra being able to set up the rock as well.
No,
this is what we want.
You fell for it. It was right there, the big warning sign. Don't you walk over here without a savage rampage. Spot dodge in the throw. The rock is still there. We go for the command grab. One touch is all that Zero needs to finish the job. No, the roll into command grab back. Things are looking dire.
It's Loot Chip. Zero, it's Chip. There we go.
Yep, the big old rock that got you through the rounds prior, going to be able to seal this one out. Zero going to take it. Galleon with the first victory of the character 2-0, and yeah, we show the plush to the crowd. This is what everybody wants to see right there. Snoop does here.
Yeah, this patch was really interesting because it set up a lot of grapplers much better than what they were before. Like, Vaseraga didn't need a ton of help, really. I'm not sure we needed a whole lot going for the character, but still got some help. And, you know, Galleon coming out, right? We want you to play Galleon, so of course we're going to make grapplers a little more potent.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do here up against an archetype that's literally built to deter big body grapplers like Ladiva. But the help to the Lariats and a lot of other things that we might see from Dr. Snoop and the Ladiva could help them make a way here. But I like the Raging Strike, or sorry, the Brave counter on the Headbutt of Love, deny the plus frame opportunities, try to get them away. But right back as we use it offensively to keep Metera in the corner, we're just spending right now.
Jeez, quite the jump in there. 5L not going to get anything, but Sharks still get some breathing room out of the corner. Yo, to you, the true reversal of every Ladiva everywhere. All right. Oh, unblockable scenario set up here. Still got the trip guard.
Starry Sky to end things out. Went for that unblockable, went in the 2M, but I don't believe that they knew, or they were aware that they didn't have any bravery points left for a Raging Training extension, and that's why you kind of saw the drop there. But still able to close things out right there. A nice crouch on the Lariat. Despite its faster startup and better travel distance, still can crouch underneath it, so good stuff right there from Sharks, being aware of what they can do, and being aware of what we can get on this touch here from Metera, dropping the combo, unfortunately, so we're going to have to use this next pickup and use a bravery point to extend, but we get it right back here with the Flash Kick Super.
Final interaction potentially here. Sharks sitting in that Granblue zone. 5L to make those quick interrupts. Even if you try to go for that Lariat, you still have the space away from Ladiva before it activates to shut down with that 5L. Back to character. Yeah, I don't know if you want to go Ladiva against Metera. Like, Ladiva could. Do you want to work that hard, though?
Especially if I can play Beatrix? No, that's fair point, I respect it. Got the whole outfit too, so it might get scary, spooky, crazy, hilarious right here for Metera. But Shark's doing a really good job on the outset again. It was against the archetype that, you know, Metera is very good at countering, and that big body grappler, a little bit of slow movement. And then I feel like once they saw them crouch underneath the Lariat, Dr. Snoop just went, okay, they're a knower. Okay, yeah.
I mean, Sharks is certainly a knower, has been playing Granblue for a long time at this point. You're not going to pull the wool over their eyes. Ooh, no. Yeah, not going to reach with that one. Medium would have been great, though.
Oh, yeah. Definitely a more preferred option in neutral as opposed to the heavy one nowadays, especially since it has been nerfed and not necessarily going to be able to get as much on your opponent there representing it. But gotta show the low profile every once and again. But I'm gonna show you this anti-air arrow right there, the 1H full confirm as well. Gonna be able to set up the butterfly, try to use you riding free to go through those circumstances, but we're going right back to square one with that Starry Sky.
Yeah, very good spot dodge with the 5L. There's so real pro tip. Metera's 5L is the anti-Beatrix button. I shut down riding free. It actually shuts down Star Chaser. Yes, there's a safe spot where 5L will blast right through that Star Chaser.
That's great. I was not aware of that. That's honestly crazy. Yo, maybe those Twit Longers were right.
I need to stop laughing. I don't need to know these painful things. But then again.
Poor Beatrix these days, huh?
Yeah, she's suffering so much, right? You know, they really nerfed her so much. I can't route. My Stars Chaser, you want just now? Why? I'm just so flabbergasted by it, really.
Go though, going to the SBA though, Shark seeming very comfortable, not necessarily as flabbergasted as us in the booth right now, looking like Beatrix is just somebody just, you know, just an average Joe these days, just saying, hey, I might be the one up on the tier list over you right now. So definitely have you in this corner in the East Coast right now, locking you down with these 6 Ls. Looking like Vanilla with the infinite pressure right there from Metera, and almost like we can't get out of jail.
And so, actually, fun fact, the way those hurt boxes lie for Beatrix, again, that 5L is a devastating button. So you're not going to...
Very, but interestingly, we're going to go with the ever so loving angel that is Belial. Going to be very interesting to see what they do up against Fairy, who's trying to definitely threaten with those far Ls, all those far normals, but then an early Gets Fence conversion right there to already put the health deficit up against Belial. And then the GG. Yeah, this is like just as early as this, you're already playing at Fairy's game.
Oh, there we go. Got the ult. Nice little parry here. Back away and still going to get the side swap. V-Pod not skipping a beat. Maintaining a full extension with the Fairy setup. Could see Orb Super here. Nope, just going for ult for extra damage.
Next touch is going to kill anyway. You were in a guessing game and that RPS situation as well with GG right underneath you. So even if you guess right, still got to hold the block button. And then even then you try to BC out and out. A little bit too far for that to be really effective there. So B-Paw near checkmate there. So don't necessarily disagree with them just going for that ult ender. But I definitely agree with them representing that 5U. Snow Zone doing a really good job using that parry to get in on Fairy.
Oh, BC War, wait a minute. Wants to maintain that corner and still gets the full follow-up here. As Modius able to connect and extend a little bit further. Good roll. Oh, wow. Still got the spot dodge. And nice roll right back, avoiding the ult here. Good awareness from B-Paw.
You're seeing B-Paw trying to play a little bit more against the Give Me Some Sugar Daddy as they were previously, and then just running up to it right there, just saying, no, I've seen it a little bit too many times, and I'm just going to run up and make you really prepare for it. The hind legs of Beppo going to show themselves with that 5H, and then a whole lot more of our Spirit Companion going to show with his SSBA. Flash the screen red, and that life bar looking of the same hue right now. Only a little bit of green left, and that green is gone.
Back special is the end of it all here. First game for B-Paw over Snow Zone.
Believe in victory. Battle 1.
All right, so B-Paw on active defense, right? Being able to roll through some of these interactions here for the command grab coming from below, or rather the Give Me Some Sugar ult version. Nice block, full counter punish.
Yeah, that guessing game's still in the game, so they're just like, I want out. I want out immediately. Heavy Notoria, unfortunately, going to be denied right there. Great discipline offensively from B-Paw. A little bit less so defensively. Got caught mashing a couple of times, and I get it. There was a little bit of an ambiguous spacing after that far H. Didn't know what Snow Zone was going to go for next, and Belial has a great way of making you guess in that close quarter scenario. Ooh, anywhere safety is so nice on that 6-6-H, and being able to maintain that corner positioning. Go for plus frames, but yeah, smart BC to get out of there.
Try to quickly dash. Oh, a little bit of an interrupt. At least able to answer back with the round. And once you close the gap against Fairy, things get substantially easier for you. Just have to worry about like that true reversal while Fairy has meter. Just be careful with your meaty timings.
Oh, we're ready to spot dodge that far H as well. And then cog him on the dome. He's got the counter hit on that far L. GG extension was there waiting regardless. Keep him in the corner right now, just sitting at that weird range. But a wonderful jump out right there in a back row to sort of switch positions there and get more of that corner advantage. That was a risky 2H right there.
Oh no, not what we thought it was going to be. We thought it was the regular 5U, but Snow spent the meter.
Wow, okay, setting out the fireball. We were ready with the sweep at that distance there, or the 2M at that distance there. Really good stuff there from Fairy. Oh, but yeah, you recover in time just to get that 6-2-3U. Ultimate Sikkim Beppo, ready for the aerial Belial. No air stall as well, so they were just ready and waiting for any jump out attempts there. B-Paw, really good coverage there to end the round.
Oh no, roll, a little bit of a jump scare there. Doesn't fully extend it too much, actually. Just didn't even end with a triple attack. Stop shy. Changed too far. Delayed spot dodge shot here from B-Paw.
Oh man, Yeah, these parries have been coming out very well. High risk, high reward in a lot of situations there, but got the throw bait there. Not going to be able to do too much after that, but still having a really good time putting Belial into this corner. Ooh. Baiting out the 5U, and yep, that's what they were looking for the whole time. Just looking at all of the patterns of Snow Zone, using that 5U, and then finally capping out the round perfectly, setting them up in a bait situation, just saying, hey, GG on the floor. I know I'm giving you enough room to do it. Are you going to take advantage of it? I'm going to take advantage of that. Potential woman, unfortunately, because she doesn't necessarily have the results to back up what a lot of people feel are about feel about how strong, or like what tools that she have that are strong. But honestly, she has a lot of really good stuff that complements her game plan. Really good normals in that 2M. That far H does have its utility as well. Right. But really, the showstopper is the Rhapsody, and definitely the test for your opponent. Do they know how to play against it, and the variety of follow-ups that it has? But on the other end, there's a whole different comprehensive bag that we can reach into as Belial. A really strong all-rounder Super Shoto that we're going to see for the first time since coming back from this ad break, but not the stranger to the stream already. But yeah, we'll see what they're cooking with on the part of Nizer versus Real Ice.
Interrupt their approach with the light. Asmodeus, a deep jump in. Let's see. Corner setup already established. Pretty strong offense here. Early spend on the ult, but at least does that. Hold the corner position again. Dash L, still threatening to find U.
All right, Rhapsody follow up. Going to presumably go into the SBA. Absolutely. Get the link as well. Gonna put them in the guessing game one more time. Going for the safe jump, just feeling out what their opponent's doing, and wow, what a risky reversal right there. But Real Ice minding the spacing, just saying, hey, I'm just gonna wait for you to try to come up and do something. And that was something that you did not want to be doing as Nizer. A nice 2M finisher there for Real Ice.
Hey, good on Real Ice to make that dash L with punish here after the command grab. Again, you have a little bit more time, but still having the wherewithal to make a quick movement here. Nice 2M interrupt. And the thrust for corner, not going to work though. Not far enough.
Alrighty. After the BC, going to jump for position in mid-screen right there. And trying to keep up the pressure by using the Goisha, but going into the rating track, Real Ice not going to spend it in response. Might just be saying they will take the damage rather than spending their valuable resource in that diamond. But yeah, nice Rhapsody to get on out of there. Not going to be able to get that safe jump up against a character that doesn't have a DP. That's where the strength of the Rhapsody parry comes in for Zeta. So unique defensive ability. And yeah, it's going to be up to see Nizer being able to represent what they can do offensively against it, but Real Ice buying himself some time with it.
A couple spot dodges here. Nice. Oh, Sphere of Harvest, but still not able to get the finisher. Either way, got that low pickup Raging Chain. Will this be enough? Ah, too far for the 5L.
The mighty Spear of Harvest, Zeta's greatest companion, being able to pull it out right there in round one, or game one for Real Ice. Love seeing them play a little bit more of a spacing-oriented game up against Nizer, who's trying to really find any way to command space. They've been opting for that Goisha Fireball to do anything, but Real Ice has been doing a really good job. Oh!
Oh, no. Oh, no, man. A little bit of that counter hit there. Nice JH, caught the backdash with the alt beam.
Probably going to go into that 50%. Yeah, get one more guess for game right here. Went for the safe jump last time, went for the throw. This time we're attacking it as Nizer. But now this is the tough part, trying to get out against Zeta here, and Real Ice doing a really good job playing that spacing game. Yeah, we've seen that one too many times. It's 0 for 3 at this point right now, looking like Mitchell Robinson at the free throw line. Real Ice being able to pull that out by just knowing exactly when that 5U is going to be reached into.
And that's the thing, Real Ice has been calm, cool, and collected. Every single one of those interactions in complete control throughout the set so far. I mean, not overly pressing. You don't want to overexert yourself to get called out by like a DP or like a whiff button. But at the end of the day, Real Ice now losing this ground here. Backed up into the corner. We can't get the side swap though. We've seen it before.
Oh, you saw the full jump there from Real Ice as well. Zeta being able to air stall and go into that Spear of Harvest in the air, but really good stuff with the far H. Not going to get the full confirm, but going to be able to get the landing Notoria. Rhapsody again going to work out. Looking for the throw bait, but not biting. Nizer doing a really good job defensively with that discipline, but everybody's equal in the face of Zeta 2M. Sometimes you just get caught by it, and sometimes you can get put into this strong corner offense that Real Ice and Zeta can put you in.
Hit that reset, and this will do Real Ice. Finish this for a 2-0 set over Nizer. And that's still Metera has, being able to interrupt the startup of a Soul Forge charge in a lot of cases. We'll see how it plays, though.
Oh, but that far M, the newly buffed move, the great poke right there to get some ground in on Metera and establish our advantage here early. Whiff on the command grab, though, just not in range, but we are in range of getting back thrown. Great jump out of the ultimate command grab right there. Sharks already on 10 toes with the awareness right there up against the defense that Vaseraga has to use to get out of harm's way.
Oh my god, the hop! Constant onslaught of offense coming from Sharks, a full conversion in a super. What a play here, honestly. Like, just, you thought you had a moment to breathe, and yet you're still getting covered by 5L, and immediately after short hop overhead. This is supposed to be a zoner, but we're playing a rushdown character come from Sharks here. Goodness.
Yeah, interestingly enough, you're seeing an adoption of a different playstyle up against Dark Shino, who's trying to definitely use that armor as a counter-zoning practice, or counter-zoning practice. Sharks just saying, you know what, I'm going to smother the screen, and when you give me time to do so, I'm going to take space and just get right in your face and make it so you can't utilize that special skill.
Exactly. You know, that's such a critical point you brought up there. The fact that we are gaining this ground, there's no room to retreat for Dark Shino. You have to bring the fight to Metera, but she's just in the perfect spot where she's safe enough. She constantly recycles through those specials, keep you locked in, butterfly call, and even for ult, like, look at this. How do you solve this without Soul Forge?
You're going to have to find a way right now because all these far H's, all these starry skies, all these great falls are starting to add up, and we're trying to use Ultimate Lariat to get on out of there, but Sharks, again, just floating effortlessly above the sky with this effort, just maintaining fantastic spacing, fantastic command of ranges where Vaseraga is rendered ineffective, and that is an exemplary way to play this matchup here in Game 1.
Indeed. Ooh, good spot dodge on the shoulder check, and still able to gain this ground here back to the east side of the screen. Rainfall comes through, good 5L to interrupt the approach. And yeah, you think you have just that one moment of reprieve, and Sharks is already covering it with another 5L. Okay, good. Instinction, just a blast right through. I can't believe you put a button on top of that, because if we would have shot while you're swinging, counter hit, butterfly, oh my goodness.
Yeah, it would have been over, but it's still looking grim right there. Even though we try to use our sweeping slash to get on out of there, still giving Metera a lot of space. And I know that's a poke that's been, you know, buffed, so it's a little bit more, or a little bit better on block for you, but you're still giving Metera the ability with that health lead to create space. And that's not what you need at that point, unfortunately, if you're Vaseraga.
The jump, blocking with another butterfly here. Every time, Dark Shino getting interrupted by the pre-jump frames. Good stand block, but the 5L, quite the interrupt. And even Soul Forge was attempted, but you're running out of time. Jesus, wait a minute.
Oh my gosh.
I had enough.
The audacity, the unmitigated gall, and then just run right up there, catching the recovery on the spot dodge with a couple of elbows right to the dome piece. Good routing into the Soul Forge, so now we can maximize our offensive capabilities with this touch. I would say if we could have confirmed there, but now Sharks being able to fight out.
Busting. Oh, yeah, the double shoulder off the EX. Yeah, we got to capitalize here. Oh, we could have Raging Chain, honestly. We would have been able to easily confirm that. No, nothing to follow through. We don't have the resources. That was the other side, Sharks. That wasn't for you.
We still got half a bar, so we have access to ultimate skills. If we can find the time, and we do so with the ultimate extinction fireball right there, being able to blast through the projectiles. Really good stuff right there. Almost seemed to get away from the Vaseraga, but Dark Shino pulling it out, being resource aware, knowing that they had one ult skill they had to use and doing it at the right time.
I mean, gosh, Dark Shino almost let that victory slip through their fingers and still was able to cover up. Go for the Savage Rampage here, not gonna work. Oh, ult shut down immediately.
And that is a huge ult shutdown as well, because now you're putting them in this corner without the ability to turn blue. Not going to have the amount of resources, the amount of tools that you need to circumvent the situation. But we use our battalions of fear to get on out of there. And again, a well-timed ultimate instinction. Really good use of that skill here in Game 2 to give them a little bit more ground against Metera. But Sharks still fighting back with these Starry Skies and setting out these butterflies as well to add more hits to chip away at that armor.
Literally peppering away at the armor of Dark Shino. Even the health just being drained. Let's get the low. Another check. Oh, what an interrupt with the dash L. Very brave from Sharks. Not enough to get a kill here, but still a very big combo route. Whoa, whoa! Oh, no! Okay, all right, still able to clean up. My goodness, because that DP should have been counter hit punished, and even still,
Believe in victory.
Shino up on the board now.
The composure there down the stretch in round 2 and then in round 3 as things were getting a little bit hectic, but Darkshino pulling it out right here, forcing it game 3. I do love the adoption of this new Instinction Fireball gameplay right there to give us a little bit of space, especially when we have access to the ultimate variety. But Sharks again going to a more aggressive game plan, but again, Instinction coming out to play and doing a great job here for Darkshino.
2 gosh darn tall of Fireball there. Back away. Oh no. Probably wanted to throw in her up there, but still woke up with the 2L. Raging Chain to corner carry. We try to build up meter. This is going to be the focus for this next sequence of events. You try to build up meter to refund 1 Brave point, and Darkshino trying to deny it with this Savage Rampage. The stops coming through.
100 meter though, we're going to spend 50 even on that ultimate Instinction and then go into the sweeping slash again to catch them. And then the ultimate command grab from that far away. I thought we were germaphobes, but we are still getting up close and personal at the ranges that we did not think were safe, but not safe there. Throw punish enabled on the Battalions of Fear.
Oh.
Less pushback nowadays, and that's exactly what you get. You got to read those patch notes full before you throw out these burst options.
Very good stuff here from Sharks to keep their composure. Oh, what a roll. Round start, hard read from Dark. Flies there, bring it right back down. You're still going to have to hold the guard button.
Love locking them down with these butterflies as well, cycling through these skills, trying to deny them, and then again, being able to stand at a range where Ultimate Extinction won't hit, so they can go into that Starry Sky, Butterfly on tap as well, and then getting the BC bait. What an amazing sequence of events there by Sharks.
Oh, the jump out here. We saw it earlier in the set. Sharks able to neutral jump that ult command grab and not even forgetting about it in the set's final hour.
With that change to their character, it's a little bit less of a tournament character, and it's a little bit more volatile to play him. But if you have a steady and stable game plan, as we've seen with those names mentioned before, this character can do some crazy things to you.
Yeah, the character's so pretty potent in terms of damage output, and even in terms of mixing up the opponent. Nice jump out there. Try to connect with an H for counter hit. Nice 5L, BC away. Ooh, too far for the 2U. I'm surprised because the 2M whip punish could have been right there from Sin.
We're already seeing the early roll through the gated demons attempt there. So Sin already does have that on the brain. We'll see if Skunchen can sort of play into that as well. Also going to see how interesting they're going to, or how they're going to use that empty hand to circumvent a lot of the dragon skills that we're going to get. But we're going to see the 6-6H, the armor dash heavy come out from Sin, catching Skunchen, throwing out something in neutral. But this is going to be a whole lot of something being done to the health bar right there. Just one more touch is going to do it to you.
Quite literally here, just dash L after the light dragon. Sin putting that first round on the board. And it was definitely a checkmate scenario, right? Of just like, dude, I'm right in that whip punish range. There's no way.
Yeah, plus unblocked fireball as well. Only 1 BP left. It was going to be a really tough climb out of here.
5L, the stagger goes in favor of Skunchen. Ooh, wasn't blocking in time. That ult DP will rip right through. There it is, dash H. Yo, Sin was fishing for it, waiting for it. I know you're going to have T-hand. You're 6. You're definitely going to do this.
They all want one thing, and it's disgusting. And we sniffed it out beautifully. The dash H coming out once again. I feel like that's going to be a lot of what we see here up until Skunchen throws something different here. But this time using the empty hand for the plus frame to initiate the stagger offense right there. Beautiful stuff. Rewarded with the close heavy counter hit, and then the SSBA to finish things off. Seox fighting back very nicely.
It's that explosivity you were talking about, right? That quick turnaround that 6 is capable of, that may be low on health, but certainly deals a ton of damage. Oh yeah, the heavy beam, don't you forget, even if the dragon is behind you, still an active individual back there.
Dash in to get the overhead right there, trying to catch him with a delay, close heavy, but gonna catch the Thunder Flash this time around by using the 2M. Gonna route into the 50% special, but no cancel, unfortunately, on that far H. We didn't have it ready in time, but we call out the Thunder Flash one more time. Sin, how many parries can you bait, my man? How many?
You smell that desperation, right? Like, I see you panicking over there. You're low on health. This is your final round, final game.
Oh, man, throw bait coming there with the heavy empty hand, right? Or heavy Gate of Demons. Now using the empty hand to reset into pressure right there, but not biting on the empty low. Still going to be able to challenge out there. Go back to mid-screen. Oh, here we go. So going to be able to use our 50% to put them into the corner there with the spinning slash and then put them into where Zoe wants to operate, going for a throw bait of their own, but nobody home to bite.
Shell here, there's the medium. Nice. Oh my goodness, the dash H gave you enough time to shut down the parry for a counter hit as it started recovering.
These Thunder Flash callouts have just been amazing from Sin right now. Just really been the real bane of Gungeon's existence. Like we were talking about with the low health, can't afford to have those parries called out. So might want to mix in the timings, might want to mix something up because right now Sin identifying the habits beautifully and getting so much done to the low health bar of 6. But right there, being a little bit more reserved and baiting out the 668. So now we can get something going here. Ultimate DP will stop that though.
Geez, the light and able to get the full conversion corner carry off of this one. Yes, there's the wall. SBA. Very good combo routing.
Going for the gated demon throw bait again. This time Sin minding their manners, not reaching in the cookie jar before they finish their dinner. Now putting them in the corner here, checking them with these pokes, and then just running up with the close heavy. You got to imagine that they were looking for the Thunder Flash, but they got just a regular button instead. The results are still the same. A big old counter hit and a big old W for Sin as they advance into top 48 winner side.
Sin out here with Zoe heading into top 48. The Arcana Dueler right now.
That was clutch. That was clutch.
Thank God the window was already open. I was looking at my class.
See, that means you're a gamer because you already had it. Like you were just like, all right, I know which tab. Boom, I'm ready. Let's go. We're ready to go. Love that stuff.
Oh.
All right, but yeah, we are gonna get the 2B actually. So with that weapon of choice, so we're gonna see if they flash Crimson of the blood of Belial, or are they gonna dim their glow when Belial gets a little bit more damage here on the 2B right here. So you can see what Nizer has to do this time around. Took a loss on the last time they were here, but we'll see if they're going to do something here because higher stakes here. Don't have the winner's life to depend on, and the top 48 spot on the line between these two. And Roarin already is roaring out of the gates with an anti-air 2H counter hit to put them into the corner with a lot of tax done on that health bar.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Back special here to extend a little bit further. Yeah, just hit that combo limit ender. Yo, caught the back dash with 2-0. Wait a minute. It was too early. That startup. Yeah, more passing. Nice. Let's go for the ult setup here. Just a corner carry. Asmodeus a little bit too high up there, trying to get that full extension.
Wire to get in and get some plus frames going and then get some more going. We're not going to roll through the ultimate orbs on reaction, so it enables us to go for that cheeky little jump in right there, and the clock to the dome piece is going to get the round victory for Roarin.
You know, thank you so much to Evo champion Aaron DeMac for unlocking this Summer Belial skin for all of us.
I'm an enjoyer. I'm an enjoyer.
Not just to use the summer skin. That's the next one.
I think a lot of people are waiting for the Beelzebub Summer Skin.
It's not happening. Just give it up. That one, that was a bridge too far.
We're already halfway there. Right, we're already halfway through the health bar of Belial as well. All of these counter hits really adding up, especially by using these normals. And now you're seeing Nizer get a lot more agitated defensively. A lot of whiffing being done in that corner right there. We saw it early with the 2L, but nice job using the 5U to go through the wire. And then the cheeky little setup over there. If you're not a knower, that'll catch you.
All right. A little caution there. Waiting for the Marat. What are we doing? Nizer, uh-oh. Oh, tried to get too tricky with the shimmy, and that did not work out the way you thought it would. Maybe just misinput the guard button. That gave such a wide berth of opportunity for Roarin to challenge out of the corner.
Yeah, giving the 2B a little bit too much respect there. She has, like, she just has the DP. You live if you take that DP, and other than that, you can just go to town. Belial is such a great corner pressure monster, and you have a chance to do that right here after getting a whole lot of damage done. And here we go, forcing the BC out from 2B, and yeah, I think want to see them get a little bit more aggressive there offensively. We saw them get a little bit more so defensively, so we can just set the pace by doing so on this end of the game. And right now, you're seeing that come to fruition right there. Neither doing a really good job, but well-timed parry there from Roarin.
A lot of those far medium pokes there. Alt fireball, and again, a height problem here for Knives to get the full follow-up, but at least gets a full conversion. This should send it home. It should be easy. 1, 2, 3, there you go.
Alrighty, going into the next round. Knives are now finding themselves up, and again, loving to see more aggression there offensively. Don't respect 2B unless she commands it, but trying to get some respect done in that neutral phase. Good punish on the parry, not going to get a whole lot out of it, but still doing a good job playing around it and going for something a little bit tricky right there. Knives are going deep into the bag of tricks right now. Roarin actually being able to block that one out same side. Going to be able to put them on the east side of things, put them in this corner. Severing Assault. Now we just go into the projectile ender.
I mean, gosh, Nizer is bringing back that old tech that we saw up against Real Ice, right? Trying to go for the 5U ender after just like a triple attack. If it's blocked, it's working against Roarin here, at least every once in a while. Ooh, okay.
That was needy. That could have been a huge confirm to win the game right there, but we're just not quite ready. But Roarin still finding time to get back in here. Oh no.
1, 2, 3. Strip all Brave points. It's 2B. We're going to be fine. It's only going to be fine, right? Please tell me.
We're live!
I told you. I told you.
I should have believed. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You're the veteran here. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I need to mind my seniors and need to mind that spacing with that 5H because it's been doing the Lord's work so far for Roarin as it does for many of 2B players, but we still salute. Glory to Mankind. Glory to the far-reaching normals of our auto combo god 2B. And glory to the round start EX Fireball. That's twice now that that's worked out.
Oh, geez. 5H here. Gauntlet Strike. Nice, over 50% life lead right now. Keep for the plus frames. Yo, you thought you pressed too well. You're so lucky you didn't get crushed for it.
Trying to run them down right here, forcing the late tech throw. Oh, big 5H hit right there. Oh, but couldn't quite get the extension that we needed to fully confirm things. We didn't have the spacing to get the clean hit on the hammer, so it didn't work out. But we just run up with the 2L, tapping the toe, and tapping a W into an alphabet for us. That is a win for our... I mean, I played Tekken Tag and like Fuddruckers and stuff like that, but like, you know, there's other stuff there.
Tekken Tag at the Fuddruckers?
Absolutely.
Yo, okay. Cagliostro showing up here. The noir style Cagliostro.
I like it.
And then Sandy, Sandalphon, character I suspected we see way more of than what we have. Just turns out to be kind of tame right now. Just a pretty strong foundationally Shoto, just not really overly saucy despite having these forms. Dash L is the opener here, but opts for the fire. Extra damage off rip and just expends it.
Yeah, definitely seeing a lot of people go for that fire more so than any other element. It has a lot of utility where you see like water being able to set up those really fun setups, being able to command neutral a lot by having a lagging setup. As we get out of the corner there as Cag, we can't quite get the wall bounce there on the heavy lariat. Nice time UGP both times around. But yeah, a lot of people either do fire or just go into the empty element because they feel like the character functions well enough on its own because using its primary tools of that far H, of that JU, of that fireball, and then just having really good fundamentals like in being able to employ that shimmy there to close it out right there to catch Cagliostro guessing. The character, regardless of element, can complement that pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, the damage output for Sandalphon in light stance is still pretty potent. Yeah, that was pretty late to put out a button there. Teed off with a beautiful 2H from Shark Boots. All right, 2U, knockdown. Uh-oh. Didn't react to the max range raging strike. Maybe thought we weren't going to get caught by it. It didn't even challenge back. You have a breakpoint to spend. We just took the damage.
Yeah, maybe just didn't want to go into that 20% deficit after losing both of those brave points. So opting to take the damage as it were right there. But still going to take even more right there as we're locked down in this corner. Next throw can kill right here. So a really dangerous spot here for Shark Boots. Can't even really afford a late tech at this point either. But look at these 2-2 skills coming in right there, keeping Shark Boots locked down.
All right, just go for judgment cut. Fell into the spear. Good shot. And wow, the defense from Wanubi. Oh, that was an unblockable scenario. Didn't recover in time there, but still got the chip.
Yeah, 2-2M being able to close it out right there. And I think Wanubi starting to feel that it is the choice right there. Tongues shown out to the camera right there, flexing on the crowd, flexing for the crowd real quick, just kind of feeling themselves right now. And look, the Sandalphon doing a really good job right there. And yeah, I think that's what we were looking for, that round start where they got 2H, was that JU, because it is a very generous hitbox on the way down up against the anti-airs. So got it the first time around for Shark Boost, but this time Wanubi going to come out on top, but we're still going to be able to get the corner position, set up traps as well. Only to do that for a combo ender, but we got a lot of levels on that 5U.
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking rock solid right now. Calls out the DP. We've seen this one before. Raging Chain. Yeah, set this on. Don't have the meter for a second Raging Chain, but we do have all the resources to finish the damage output.
Really good stuff right there. Seized the opportunity as soon as it presented itself and really capitalized on it. And it also had that threat of the 5U in the back as well. So gave Wanubi a little bit more to think about, but Shark Boost is still keeping it in tow and just doing what Cagliostro does best, which is employ trickery as soon as she gets the advantage. But this time going to have to find a way to do it, as we got the anti-air hit into the Raging Strike with that far M. And now Wanubi can get their own corner offense started, and a simple strike throw is all you need.
Dagger, nice little 5H there. Dash L, very brave to shut down that startup. A little bit of that recovery from the low hex. Shark Boots, BC's away. Tries to teleport one more time. I'm surprised Wanubi didn't challenge. That could have been a 2L conversion.
Yeah, maybe just saying, hey, I got the health lead, so if I get thrown, it's whatever. And the discipline pays off defensively right there as we get a mashing Cagliostro on the toes there, the 2L into a round of victory. So Shark Boots not going to be able to take this game that easily. Wanubi saying they're going to have to make it a little bit harder. But now we're going to go into the water skill. But no, we get rid of it as soon as we can. What do we go here at the end of this one? Fire.
Fire stance applied. A little bit of shimmy action. Not opened up, but opened up on the back special there, which is a big starter here for Wanubi. 5U ender, the down special, and let's go to SBA. This should be it.
4 swords in hand, 6 wings in the back, and a perfect on the board. Wanubi with a perfect round to cap off that 2-0 victory, and that is going to be top 48 qualified for them as well. So we got a Sandy in top 48. How about that?
4-sword adventure indeed on that one.
Riding free, but it does carry a little bit more risk nowadays, so the matchup could change in that aspect for Baz's favor.
Yeah, we'll see what ends up happening there. I personally feel like both of these characters are quite strong at the moment, even with Beatrix's nerves. I think she's doing just fine.
Yeah, I think so too. We're going to see how the representation, as dominant as it was prior, if it's going to change as much. But I think a lot of people will still remain loyal to the Society agent. Like you said, great tools all around to compete as well. Has the Fireball, has the DP, everything that you would want from a Super Shoto. And on the other end, different rushdown character, doesn't have access to that Fireball, but still has very oppressive offense when they get in the range, and also has very strong mid-range tools. But DB not interested in playing that game, rushing them down immediately in immediate BP expenditure to get out of there. And right now, this is what you want. 5U install, we're gaming.
Oh, that is rough. Yeah, already that Luminera coming out. That install, like you mentioned, such a threat. It gives you so many options. Great skin choices as well, by the way. Oh, my goodness.
All right, keep him pinned down in the corner. Absolutely spend that BC on the 2L. Get the counter hit, get the hard knockdown. But we do that right in return. -1 here. Do we DP? Are we North American? Nah, we get back thrown.
Look, you got to believe in yourself times. Awkward clash there, and the counter hit crush. Set up Luminera, the classic, and the riding free is not safe.
Yeah, funny thing about that, now that it being -8, you don't even just get the far light punish. You can get a close H punish, because that is 8 frames. Get a healthy bit of damage, especially in that install form.
You're going to hit me with a low like that from full screen? Deserved. Ooh. Ooh, interesting grab there. I'm surprised that that ended up working. Okay, combo with Luminera, though, and back in the corner with you.
All right, gonna take the hit, and unfortunately right there, got hit, crouch confirm. Could have been so much more damage here, potentially round ending, but BazBunk is still in a really good spot here. Ooh. But Delta Clock DP, you cannot get a conversion off of that. But now we're flirting with the Grace View, so DP gonna have to figure something out.
And Baz trying so hard to bait, taking full advantage of that install air dash. But DP, I gotta say, for how little life you have, very respectful right now.
Oh, that might drop. Yeah, that was too low. A little bit late on the link into the super, trying to get the extra damage there, but no can do. That is so tough. And the quick jab right to the rib cage, the Vira, and we're hitting the emote in the emote after winning. You know what? Open the pools with a victory. You feel yourself a little bit. You feel yourself.
You just jabbed while you were minus and won for it. Like, I respect that. Ooh. Everything's plus, though, right now from DB. Trying to take full advantage of those plus frames, those strong normals, and right over the head. What you swinging for?
DP on out of there. I do love seeing the use of the ult 5U coming early and often right again. 9 seconds into the game. Love to see it. I do love seeing DB using the newly buffed version of Thunderbird, the light one used as a burst option more. But unfortunately, you're not going to be able to play into it as much as you would otherwise like it to. But has a chance right here after a ton of damage taken after the close heavy counter hit. DB's going to have a chance to fight for their life here.
Yeah, you can see DB's game plan starting to show. You want to get in your opponent's face. Like, sure, you got those Thunderbird combos there. But once you're in that close light, hold those plus frames, and then it's strike throw mix.
And Brask's sword swinging down to earth and bringing their opponent down with it. And then a big old nothing is forever. The 5U don't even need it. Don't even need the buffed frame advantage and positioning that they got. Just enough to take the round right there for DB. So signs of life here for our favorite old blue.
And I think the reason that worked, we were talking just a second ago about that close light pressure. When you are BazBunkus in that situation, you expect the close light to come out again, but instead just goes right in for the throw.
Yeah, got the counter hit 5H as well, so uses that opportunity with the additional hit stun to go into install rather than extending the combo. Definitely do see the impertinence of BazBunkus to get that install as early as possible, because it seems like DB does not have any answers for the buffed version of Vira. But there you go. Good stuff, denying the plus frames after the 214M reset attempt, and now we're just jostling for position back in mid-screen.
And with what you're mentioning about that install, doing a very good job of getting it early. I haven't seen these rounds that you kind of expect to see every once in a while from a Vira, where they're sort of on the back foot all the time, struggling to make it happen.
Yeah, especially against Beatrix, a very high damage character, very easy to get put into disadvantage health-wise early, so you want to be able to match interaction for interaction. And as you see right there, the install allowed that Grace View combo to extend in a way that normal Vira couldn't do it, and you get the round quick, easy, just like that.
Yeah, that's just win conditions right there. It is very clear what Baz's win condition is, what every Vira's win condition is, but that is not it. The raw DP, that is unsafe, my guy.
All right, let's see what routing that we go for here. Oh, unfortunate. No. Yeah, different times. We're not quite ready for the new corner routes with the routes being changed to Star Chaser. Good this time, not getting caught by the 5U early. A nice 2L mash, and then still maintaining our defense in a really good spot right now.
Oh, you just let it rip. Okay. DB getting a little bit too comfortable swinging, trying to get those plus frames set up. What better way to get out than with invincibility?
Star Chaser right there. Far M just a little bit too far away. BazBunk is definitely utilizing that double jump that Vira gets in that install state, but really good use of that Far H. Very great counter poke tool. Got the full whiff punish there on the attempted Thunderbird from Beatrix, but no BP left for the ladder. They're going to have to make something happen here quick.
Great catch. We saw this earlier. Baz was trying to bait that out, and DP, I think, is figuring out the timing, but unfortunately, a little bit misspaced for the throw, and that is going to cost you not just the round, but your winner's side life.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. They're wave to the camera. Other than that, just being able to absolutely take the roof off the place with the damage that they can get on Lowain if they get a good touch in the corner. But we'll see what CPU has in tow with the Lowain.
And I'm curious to see what you can do as Chovy to shut down the Monigons. I feel like there's some tools, but the zoning, the pressure game from Lowain isn't necessarily strong enough to always shut that down, so CPU will have opportunities.
Yep, here we go. Early Awesome Sauce. And I believe that was a buffered Raging Strike as they were trying to get them off of them at any cost. And yeah, the parry, I forgot to mention. How can you forget about the parry from Lowain? Definitely something that you have to be wary of when structuring your offense. And then you were in a position to block the DP from Siegfried. Aerial, though, so you couldn't quite get the touch that you wanted, but can get it here. Ultimate Awesome Sauce extension. Got the critical hit. Catbot in tow, but missing out on a couple more hits. And they still get punished. Full cinematic, too? Wow.
Twice in a row. Just letting it rip in the corner. This time, of course, it's the super, not a DP, but we see CPU maybe getting a little bit played there. Like, surely he's not going to do it twice in a row. No, I am.
Yeah, absolutely. Also got the 6-6M, even though they lost the round. I do love seeing that being thrown out too. Definitely a lot of different ways that Siegfried can control the screen against him. And how about the far H right there working out too? But CPU being extremely aggressive even after that knockdown. And now, you know, paying dividends for them. Heavy Awesome Sauce would have been punishable there, but we opt to just go for the BC. So I think a little bit of lack of awareness in the frame data department in terms of what's punishable and what's not.
Yeah, I wonder if that aggression has to do with what we were talking about a second ago with the Monigons, right? You're trying to prevent your opponent from getting set up early, and she's doing a really good job. And again, pressing in the corner, using those invincible options, and CPU recognizing that time, taking full advantage.
Good stuff right there, picking up on the defensive habits of Chovy. Definitely a lot more agitated in the corner. And then just run up with the, I think that was the light version of the parry, testing the gangsta of Chovy Sauce, just saying, I know you want to swing. You've done it each time, each round. I'm ready for you.
And Chovy has not gotten an opportunity to play the game, it feels like. A couple little openings like that, but once we get back to neutral, CPU just using those projectiles, using the ultimate skill like that to create openings that Chovy is struggling to find a way out of.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That 2M is a nightmare to deal with when you're trying to pick a way to poke out in the corner because it's just so low reaching, and sometimes we'll just go right underneath any far medium or something that hits at that middle or that middle body area, and then we just go again. I think CPU might just have the download.
Yeah, looking so aggressive up until the moment that you need to be defensive. And that, I think, goes to show the mindset of how CPU is playing this. Only holding forward when it's logical, when it makes sense to do so, not just pressing buttons and hoping for the best.
Swipe to get rid of the, I was going to say, Lady Caterpillar getting blown up right there. A nice whip punish with the 6XL. Cancel into a little bit of a snag right there. So CPU, stunning, but doesn't necessarily have a lot of resources to afford them an opportunity to make that really count because Siegfried, even though you're taking 20% more damage, now getting hit though, Ultimate getting the critical hit once again.
Yeah, both players low on BP. I don't think we're going to see CPU try to extend anything here. Again, Chovy does not care. We are pulling out these invincible reversals. Finally gets the buff up as well.
6XM going to get hit by the bro wheel. This is such a tough spot to be in for Chovy. You got that hit on the SSBA, but you can't really do too much with it. Went for the throw bait, got the 2L to hit, but good cancel into the fireball, catching CPU, mashing. So a bit of a, we'll call that a frame trap going into that special to catch the mashing in that point. And Chovy Salt showing signs of life here.
You get your one read, you set up the buff, and actually takes the round for the first time on the same round that you actually got up that win con. We were talking about win cons in the last set with Vira. The same thing can be true with Chovy here, trying to find opportunities to set up against CPU.
Yeah, but here we go. Got the bros coming out. The bro fam mix is very potent if you're not ready for it, but blocked them both times, got thrown out of it, but then here you go, the 2M again. Very strong poke there from Lowain. Gonna see HPA for the first time, bouncing them like a basketball. This is hardwood, this is tongue and groove, and we are grooving into the big hit. Not gonna be quite enough, but this is a tough situation.
Yeah.
The low hitting LSAM gonna take it.
Yeah,
The game hasn't really added up, but Beatrix definitely a stronger play here, but up against the Yuel, you get that first knockdown with the rushdown character, it's guessing time.
Right, you get up that third dance, and as you mentioned, guess for life, even though it's the first time you went in the corner. You're going to eat that overhead 5 times, and you're going to like it. We're playing Street Fighter 6 throw loops.
Pretty much, yeah. It's just really tough to play that guessing game as well. Again, you do have access to that DP, so if you're not necessarily tight with the setups in the corner with the third dance, getting that meaty 2M, that safe jab, you can still get blown up for it a little bit. And then, of course, the parry no longer auto-timed. You have to be manual with it. It is more third strike-esque. So we're going to see if Isaac is well-equipped with the third dance shenanigans, but right now, not going to get the chance to do it. We just run up with the universal mechanic. 6XL still strong from All Blue.
And now this is going to be an interesting situation in the corner. It's going to come up a lot. You're scared of that EX flip that Yuel has as a threat. So as the Beatrix player, you have to be very careful about how you approach your offense, even when you have that advantage.
Okay, I love the 668 call out on the cancel into the parry. We've seen definitely Isaac go to the same well in terms of pressuring their offense around that third dance. And yeah, CY side doing a great job calling it out right there and then running up, back throw, shaking off the hand, but also shaking on a W in the column for round 1.
It's a good start. I feel like Isaac didn't really get an opportunity to get things running. That's a bit of a trend that we've seen in these matches. One player getting their opponent to the corner and just locking them down there for the entire round.
Oh, that first hit of riding free is still a low. You got to be ready for it. A risky cancel right there from CY side, but it working out beautifully right there. Got to confirm into the special. And again, swinging at the third dance, Yuel has the far edge confirms right there. Still a really good button to enable these special cancels and getting the full brunt of that SBA, full cinematic as well. Run up into the throw, different verse, same as the first, but the song is still sweet. Beatrix taking it in game 1.
Certainly no louder or worse. Now the first thing I'm noticing here is there was a little bit of a check halfway through that round. CY Sai was throwing out those close lights, seeing what's Isaac going to do on defense, and the answer was, I'm going to block, and then I'm going to BC. So the next time around, CY Sai doesn't even give that opportunity. It's the same thing we saw in the last Beatrix set. You throw out those close lights, you create that threat, and then you just run in and you grab them.
CY Sai saying that my co-commentator beside me has the gift of prophecy right now. Throws have been the MO so far and have contributed mightily to the health lead. Now 6XL running them down, trying to see if they do a Hanarashi DP, but nothing doing. Got a little bit more discipline in the defensive department, but swinging with the Delta Clock riding free. Very brave with the changes to the move, but CY Sai just saying, Isaac, you're not ready for it.
Yeah, we still got damage, don't you worry. Isaac doesn't even get a chance to rush down with that stance. Absolutely stuck on defense. Those big buttons are doing work.
Yeah, I also do notice that Isaac, and maybe CY Sides identified this too, definitely when they play in that ambiguous range, they don't necessarily, unless on defense, they don't go into that crouching state. So they get caught low easily there while they're walking back and forth. But yeah, we get the DP well-timed right there to fight back. Plus frames on the Firefox. Mozilla not going to be fully .exe, but we're going to still bust on out of there, far M into the riding free.
This time around, CY Sai went from those close lights into strike combos twice in a row, and the second time, Isaac was ready for it. Pressed a DP to get out, created this neutral situation, and is starting to chip back just a little bit. The late throw break, you're -6. That's going to be a little bit hard to get out of.
All right, active defense now being played by Isaac. Nice 2L mashes right there, but still remaining disciplined. But like you were saying, you can get thrown out of there by holding down back a little bit too long. And unfortunately, you weren't holding down back again. Riding free, capping E-Drive in the lance, showing exactly what can drive players up a wall. This character did perform very well prior to receiving the health nurse that Seox also got in kind, but still does a lot of what they do very well. The wall jump a little bit slower now as well, but make no mistake, the oppressive neutral and offense of the character are still very much well equipped. And then on the other end, Belial is equipped pretty much across the skill tree. Very good offense, defense, neutral. Whatever you have, he's got something for it.
Yeah, both of these are pretty high-octane characters. I think Belial maybe a little bit more well-rounded because, as you mentioned, he's got something for every situation. Meanwhile, Lance, he's got the schmicks, but when he's on defense, despite having things like that wall jump, of course, he is going to be a little bit exploitable.
Yeah, B-Drive playing very respectfully round start up against the Belial. Definitely showing the character respect as we Gorilla Blade on out of there. Ooh. Going into the mix right there, going into the empty jump low.
Ooh, dashbacks trying to catch a throw or something. Torn not giving it to him, playing very patient defense, and what a time to swing.
Yeah, and the mid-screen conversions that Belial has, and then also being able to side switch if you opt to spend 50 instead of 100. Really good stuff right there. Putting LastLaugh, a character that has to spend that 50 meter on that ultimate turbulence to get on out of there. But using the BC instead, still resource intensive though, so not going to really love that, especially if you get down to 1, but you're not even going to get the chance because that 1 BP is going to be happening right here after this SBA, and you're not going to live long enough to think about it because that is game 1, round 1 going to Belial.
And Torn was so patient on defense during that round. We saw B-Drive trying to bait out a throw with that dash back shimmy, doesn't give it to him, and then the moment when it was just right, that jab coming out of the corner, getting the mix going, get that Goisha going as well, and now the shoe is on the other foot.
Yep, catching and mashing, and now we got them locked down in the corner, 49%, so got to hold it a little bit, but opt not to. Tried to go for a buffered Raging Strike, or a buffered BC, I should say, that came out as Raging Strike. And now we get the full SBA conversion here in the corner. Definitely going to hurt again. A Pixie Health character now in Lancelot. So another throw is going to be the end of the character. So it's a very scary spot to be in.
Man.
And yeah, that caused you to fidget a little bit.
Bro, we don't even need 2M for this pressure. That's crazy. Of course, 2M not as strong as it used to be because of that extra pushback, but still, it's a good button.
Oh yeah, no, it'll still catch you low. It's still plus on blocks and can still set up some spacing traps. So not as belligerent as it used to be, but still very well utilized, a very strong tool. So B-Drive going to go back to the character select screen, see what they can do up against Belial, as they were very, very strong there to open the set.
Yeah, that was I feel like a tough game one because you start out so strong and you feel like, oh no, I can do this, I got this. And then you get hit once. It's like, oh no, I don't.
Yeah, definitely. I think I think what B-Drive right now is doing is showing a lot of respect for Belial around start. Both times they've opted to just kind of sit back and let them control the pace of the game. Whereas, you know, you can throw out that heavy fireball, see if they have a response to that, and then run up in there, get your offense started. We saw them get opened up at that range, but again, giving Torn a little bit too much time to think about the round start interactions, and now you see what happens. You're in the corner right now.
Yeah, speaking of getting offense parted, we're not even seeing things like that Blade Impulse or that teleport coming out. We saw one opportunity where he went for the empty jump in the first round, and that's about it. It's mostly just been Torn getting a hit and putting you in the corner yet again.
Yeah, you just can't afford to let Belial get started with your health in the health department, and you don't have a DP to deter him from really running the close offense gamut on you. And that's what you put yourself in. You put yourself in that East Coast corner for only 19 seconds, and that's all he really needs to get rid of you.
He is just waiting in the corner, so patient. Torn's timing has been immaculate all the way through this. Finally, we're seeing the throw mix coming out as well. That has been relatively reserved throughout this set.
There we go. Love seeing the active defense and using the heavy fireball for pressure, but very interesting there. Got hit by the heavy Osmodeus. I believe that was supposed to be Notoria instead, but still got that instead. It worked out as a reversal because you get the hit right here. Don't know if this is going to be enough, but it definitely does hurt.
Yeah, you're in a bad spot right now as B-Drive has to find a way out of the corner. Great throw break and the cross up. We talked about the weaknesses of the...
Or actually, yeah, the first time we've seen it, this
Yes.
block. Character that recently got released right before Galleon did. And on the other side, Eustace, who's been in the game for a little bit, being piloted by Blue versus Cow Hunter as we get into this button check here. Blue, definitely one of the more prominent Eustace players, has been invited to a few team exhibitions, does a pretty good job in a lot of the offlines that they've shown up to. I believe they recently got top 8 at max mode in Atlanta, Georgia. So going to see if they can use that prowess with the Flamek-wielding gunslinger to win over the 6-winged Primarch in Sandalphon.
Yeah, Sandalphon's such an interesting character. The way that his Supreme Wings work and being able to change how the character's base stats interact is so unique and interesting to me.
I might get a little bit right here. Cow Hunter already putting them in the corner with the fire state that we're going to put him into, so additional damage as well as a buffed fireball for them, as Blue able to fight their way out by slowly walking up to the opponent, getting the heavy rat race on them. So going to get some plus frames after here, and a lot of corner carry on this block string that Blue is definitely going to love after they were pinned early.
Great read as well in the high-low mix there from Cow Hunter. That's going to take you far if you can continue to get those reads just right, but reversal from Blue. Speaking of reversals.
Sometimes you just get hit by raw Raging Strike. It happens to the best of us right there, but that's going to be an opportunity here for Cow Hunter, and misfortune there for Blue. Definitely had fortunes in their favor right there, but can turn the tides right there. Nice far H as well. What a great button by Eustace in that situation at that range to go against a Cow Hunter that was giving them a lot of space to operate. But here we go into the corner. Not going to be able to do the Raging Strike conversion that would have taken the round, but still in a really good spot here. 2-2X to capitalize on the situation. Round 1 to Sandalphon.
Cow Hunter's so comfortable with the positioning and the spacing in that round number 1. We saw every time Cow Hunter got blue into the corner, had those initial pressure strings like you expect to see, like I've got my plus frames, I'll use them, but then backs just outside of both of their effective range and waits for blue to press a button or spaces with those disjoints.
That's the scary thing, too, as we get put into this corner. When you're in that fireball state, Eustace has to be a lot more respectful because those fireballs can really start to add up. You get a better knockdown. You get some more damage on what interaction that Sandalphon gets to win. And Eustace has to play around it a little bit more than they might want to at a Fireball War, in a Fireball War game plan.
And you spoke it into existence there. As you were saying that, Cow Hunter did everything you talked about. Now Blue swinging out of the corner again, a little throw clash there. Blue swinging first, setting up that rat race, getting those plus frames you talked about, and pushing Cow Hunter back.
Oh, but we run right into Ultimate Flamex, so this is a really good starter here for Blue. Gonna go into the rat race, but that's gonna blow up. Didn't necessarily have it so that it would counteract the BC. Throwing out that far H to deter any approach right there. We reacted to the Flamex with the SSVA, and that is going to be able to take it. Really good stuff there. Amazing reactions from Cow Hunter in the clutch. You had nothing else to your name other than that super, and man, did you use a good time to do it.
You're pressing on me? You think you can press on me when I have a full gauge? Cow Hunter, what a statement, what a confidence booster, and the momentum that they get off of this, pushing Blue back into the corner, but this time, Blue swings out before he gets an opportunity to set up that spacing game. DP back and forth.
Blue's done a really good job with the active defense so far. When they get pinned in the corner, it's not for long, and if they do get touched, it's usually after a couple of strings there from Cow Hunter because they've done a really good job varying the offense. So really good stuff from both of them. And here we go, active defense using the right time to get that ultimate DP now that you have that 50 meter. But we just go into the empty jump throw. And yeah, this is still a tough spot here to be in for Blue as we get the read on the roll or the reaction. Either way, it's a throw at the end of the day and a win in round 1 of game 2.
Yeah, slide into those DMs with that Zohar strike. Something that we haven't seen overstated. Just using it at the appropriate times, being respectful with that move, making it something that has to stay on Blue's mental stack without being worthwhile to overthink about.
All right, we're going to run up rather than use that far H poke. And now we have the heavy rat race going, still maintaining discipline defensively, catching them low, counter hit as well. So Blue, that active defense kind of starting to bite them. Hard knockdown with the ultimate fireball. And yeah, we used that BC as a safe way to get out of pressure. Couldn't get the far L though, missing out on the link. So that is a punishable opportunity. Blue fighting back though.
Caught you pressing, and you are going to pay for it. Blue spending all the resources and taking that round, all because Cow Hunter guessed wrong once, threw out that jab on Wake Up, and paid the price.
Yeah, that's tough too. Had that far L link that they missed out on, that would have been a really good spot to put them in. I believe they had the meter to cash out into a super, so that would have put Blue at a very dangerous spot as they would have been on their winner's life right here. But Blue now trying to fight back. Gonna use that far L link right there to go into the 5U, set up the fireball, and try to put out that blue grenade right there. Something that's really good to deter Sandalphon from approaching, but 6XL is mighty.
We haven't talked yet about how well Cow Hunter is playing around that rat race grenade. We're seeing a variety of mix-ups and options being used. Sometimes it's the spot dodge. Oh, well, now he gets hit. All right, I just had to say something. But up until that point, that's good adaptation from Blue to find that. Cow Hunter was mixing in the spot dodge as well as the 6/6Ls to keep Blue on guard. And then when Blue was ready for the 6/6L, just held back and blocked it and reset neutral.
Oh, but here we go. The extension on the heavy rat race interacting with the ultimate special from Eustace. But we get the ultimate special from Sandalphon here. Another one as well to put them in the corner. What kind of knockdown are we going for here? We're going to use the 2-2H, put them in the corner, get as much damage as we can. No element, though, so just going to route into it, keep it raw, keep it basic. Is that going to catch the recovery of the spot dodge? It is! The SBA going to work out right there, but not going to be enough to kill.
Yeah, that SBA doesn't do a whole lot of damage relative to some of the other ones in the game. Cow Hunter able to stay alive, but on a tiny bit of health here. Has that 1 BP, doesn't even...
Really good understanding of the game and how to respond to it with Vira. And we were talking about how all-around characters have tools that are really good for responding to a myriad of situations. Vira, not necessarily in the same boat. They do have the fireball, they do have the DP. They don't have a fireball, however. So, Char being the specialist that he is with Vira and being able to respond right here as we get even more ability to respond with the install. 5U landing here early.
Yeah, this is looking like that patented gameplay, even with a cross-up in the corner, which is risky, right? You're putting yourself in a corner in that situation, but Char managed to continue the pressure string with that cross-up. The Luminera setups as well, so many hitboxes.
Yeah, that is really tough, too. You had to get on out of there. Skello was definitely feeling the heat under the rays of Luminera. And Char just identifying the urgency of the situation there from their opponent and just recognizing the time that they were going to go for that ult DP. And yeah, there you go. Light DP after the -4 on Drakkan. Just a little bit of hesitancy that gets put in the back of the opponent's mind now. Doing that early can really deter what you want to do defensively as Skello.
Yeah, if you're scared to take your turn especially, it can be so hard to reverse the momentum because you finally get that tiny little opening because Char's not going to give you a big one, but he has to give you a little one eventually. And Skello needs to be ready, needs to be confident to take advantage. And finally, we're seeing that. Zui finally getting her setups, getting those ultimate skills as well, getting the Oki, the pressure resets everything, and the kitchen sink to turn that round around.
Oh, that heavy aerial spinning slash to bait out the BC immediately. First interaction that we get of corner offense, and Skello doing a really good job already playing around BC effectively. That's some pretty good stuff right there, and then using it the light version to get around the 6XL attempt from Char, but we're going to go into the install after getting hit on the frame trap, the close L and the close H, going to land, and 668 is going to do even more damage. Crouching state, the slide through. Char real smooth right now with these side switches and now in a really good spot.
And look at how little health it cost Char to get to this install win condition state. Skello has a mountain to climb, and I don't think they're even going to get the opportunity. One more mix, a little bit of a stomp on your head, and closing it out.
Char, I hate you so much for that because you absolutely could have killed, but you had to go for that side switch one more time after the ult DP. Could have even done just a safe jump, but they were just like, nah, I'm going to get this corner steal. I know what you're trying to do. Oh. But this time, Skello, knowing what you're trying to do after you already represented that DP after ending your pressure string, good response right there. But the thing about Zoe is mid-screen doesn't necessarily get as much damage to make you pay for it. So Char, I think, was just like, I'm willing to take that risk because if I get the right jump, this is what I can do now.
Skello opting not to go for the Fire Breath setup there and ends up paying the price, the risk reward of that resource management, because I don't care who you are, that Fire Breath Oki is nasty. Ooh, side switch not going to work too well. Manages to get out of there, but that was scary off of the throw break. But Char, of course, finds it anyway.
Close heavy not going to anti-air. The aerial Vira being propped up by her best friend Luminera right there. The Grace View being enabled by that install. So key right there in terms of being able to deter Skello from doing anything that they wanted to do to stop Vira from getting in. But here we go. We're in already. Just going to run up delay close H. Oh.
That's 2 in a row where Skello got caught swinging while minus, and Char taking advantage. Hold this damage. This is your last opportunity, and Skello Beyblades out of the corner. Now it's Char who got caught swinging.
Oh, but this time being able to respond to the delay match effectively just a little bit earlier than the opponent. -1 though, the RPS here is going to be very dangerous. You already saw the RPS, and yeah, here we go. Going to use that BC. Don't have any resources left to use that with unless you go into a super.
Speaking of low resources, if Char gets hit, which he does not, that was risk reward.
Much like Lowain on the left right here, Seax does have that Thunder Flash parry that enables them to take their turn back a lot more differently than other characters can. Normally you think of Granblue characters having a meterless DP or even a 50% DP, whereas Thunder Flash and flipping the bird on the other end both give them unique opportunities to take their turn back. Safe jumps don't necessarily work on them the same way that they do with other characters.
A big thing I'm going to be looking at as well from Six is how he interacts with that 6-claw execution, right? You've got that powerful Rekka. You've got so many canned mix-ups with that. And Incendiate, playing a slightly more zoning-based character, can struggle potentially in the matchup to keep him off.
And talking about that Thunder Flash, how about using that in the follow-up as well to beat the heavy Caterpillar? Even though it is a distance move or a disjointed move, being able to interact with it and then catching Incendiant in the air, really good stuff there from Klung, showing that they are aware. But on the other end, we use the parry of our own to be aware of the heavy empty hand, and then the almighty Lowain 2M going to enable a huge combo here or a mix-up to go into the HPA. Don't even need it though, close H.
That 2M taking full advantage of the fact that Klunk CC does not have very good range on those normals. So if you can catch him just out of reach, you have a lot of opportunity to convert.
All right, heavy empty hand, not going to be deterred by doing though. And you were alluding to the 6-claw execution. Both times that we've seen it, definitely have been going forward those plus frames. We want to keep Lowain locked down as much as possible. Going for a throw bait there after establishing it a couple of times, but Incendiate being very good defensively. And a wacky cross-up right there with Caterpillar on the other side. Incendiate now fighting back, but using a far light right there, going into the throw one more time.
Yeah, Incendiate more than happy to hold the throw over and over and over, because at the end of the day, Klunk does not get that much off. A little bit of screen space, a little bit of damage, but I can take a good 7 or 8 of those per round. Meanwhile, if I get hit once by one of those big combo starters, it looks a whole lot like this.
Yeah, gonna go into the HP. Oh no, the drop, however, you still have to guess after the fact. We're still playing Mario Party. There are 20 turns on this board, and you still gotta play the full game right there. Incendiate thinking about that combo drop, but I don't think they're gonna be thinking about it too much right now because they got that game 1 victory, but you wanna make sure that you have your stuff cleaned up if you wanna make it further in this bracket.
Yeah, shout out Donald Glover. This is an American reset right here. And he was not ready for it. Incendiate now continuing to use that momentum. There's the bros coming in. Which one was that?
I believe that one was Tommy.
All right, hi Tommy, how you doing?
All right, oh my God. Okay, so that is crazy right there. You had the opportunity to really make him pay for using that heavy awesome sauce right there, but a little bit too slow on the swing, and the HPA gonna still catch you on the dome piece. Incendiate just basically saying, you gotta be ready for me because I'm coming at you full speed, and there's 3 of me in tow. What are you gonna do about it?
Incendiate being forced to immediately burn some resources to get Klunk off. However, it paid off very well because once again, got him caught in the corner. The bros coming in for the alley-oop and the cat bot as well. We got the whole family.
Oh, how about the bros sniping him out of the sky, trying to get out of harm's way.
So
gonna
mean.
go right into the 2L, but we're gonna poke out using that far L. Klunk gonna try to get a little bit more positioning right here, baiting out the parry potentially, trying to go into the empty hand. And there you go, the 6-claw execution. Each time that they've used it on block, they've been trying to reset for those plus frames. Good at showing a lot of options. Again, you think of a rushdown character, you think that they're very linear in how they want to approach you. Ryuzo does a really good job, even though he can really establish a base layer very effectively with the tools that Seox has between that empty hand, between using that ultimate Rekka, the ultimate 6-claw, and then when you get locked down using the 6-claw, does a really good job of necessarily playing to the pace of the game and then still maintaining the presence of mind to throw the opponent for a loop. Because I feel like when you're playing against Ryuzo, there's just no telling what he's going to go for. He's just always giving you something different.
And on the other side of things, we saw, of course, Sandalphon was a character that showed up earlier, and we saw how valuable certain moves were. I feel like those long-range normals were pretty critical earlier, and I think it's going to be more of the same against the stubbiness of 6. I'll be curious to see how moves like the Zohar Strike come into this matchup, because you don't want to be too close to this character.
Yeah, that's another thing that they do, Ryuzo I'm talking about right there, doing a really good job with that Thunder Flash and knowing the situational awareness to side switch and put themselves in the best possible situation to get this corner combo right here, because this is where we really get all the damage. Even that high, getting the cinematic SBA, Ryuzo in a really good spot right now. They cannot be stopped here early.
Yeah, holy damage, Batman. And forcing Cow Hunter to BC out. That's going to be a lot of your remaining resources. Very difficult situation. Changing into fire mode. Let's see if that's going to be what it takes. Has been loving that throughout this bracket, speaking of.
Yeah, very popular choice there for a lot of Sandalphon players. Really good confirm on that counter hit far light as well to put themselves in a better situation right here. And you're seeing a lot of respect being shown, but good use of the ultimate fireball. An ultimate Rekka from Seox is a really good get out tool. Even if your opponent is blocking, you can still maintain your turn. Cowhunter doing a really good job responding effectively by proactively throwing out the ultimate fireball in order to challenge that approach.
So that's one round down. You got a little bit of info on your opponent. It worked out well for Cowhunter to start. And immediately we're seeing a little bit of a different game plan from Cowhunter as well, playing a bit further back in the early part of this game, whereas on the previous one, rushed down, got reversaled, and had to really fight back into it.
Yeah, I think that they were saying that they allowed Riazo to get the early advantage in that previous set, and Riazo took advantage of it, but now taking advantage of using that Gate of Demons to go over the low-reaching 2L of Cowhunter and Sandy. So now, once again, trying to go for that Gate of Demons to maintain plus frames, but good use of the BC to stop things from getting tricky in that corner.
Good spot dodge timing as well from Riazo to find this situation. And what an approach. That's going to be a lot of damage. Spending the super. Is that enough? I think that might be enough. Yes, it is.
Ooh, that super already does damage on its own, but you only had 1 BP left, so a 20% income tax on that health bar for Sandalphon. I imagine that someone of Sandalphon's status and nature doesn't necessarily have to pay taxes as much, but when you're going up against Seox, he makes sure to collect.
I'll tell you one thing, that income bracket is definitely up there. The 1%er himself. Let's hope he's got some fine art in the closet that he can sell, because it's about to be pricey.
Oh, speaking of pricey, that is going to cost you a lot not being able to play around that ultimate empty hand. We saw the ultimate 6-claw being played against pretty well, but this time Riazo going into a different part of the bag here. But what a sweep to cast them down low. The active defense from Cowhunter. Riazo right now putting their hands right up to the chin, just thinking, you know what, man, Cowhunter might just have my number right here early. I got to really get into that bag. I tried to do it a little bit, but Cowhunter already ready for me.
It's another case of players waiting until Riazo's pressure strings push him a little bit further away, and then just abusing the fact that he has such stubby normals to get those counter hits. Oh, Kasha trying to get in. Riazo really struggling to essentially zone break those sword normals that Cowhunter is throwing out, and doesn't even get another chance once you're in the corner. That's going to be it.
Similar to how they took that first round in game 1, using the far H instead of the ultimate fireball to stop Riazo from using the Rekka to get out of harm's way. Cowhunter, again, being very aware of what Seox and Riazo want to do to prevent them from really paying for that stuff. And right now, the crowd really feeling the energy right now. It feels like Cowhunter is in prime position to pull off what might be the upset of the bracket so far.
Yeah, it's looking really good right now, I'll tell you that much. Riazo did finally get in. The empty jump into the throw break. Great read, but we're going to go again. Now you're stuck in the corner, and finally the throw finds purchase. Round 2. Interesting throw backwards. I wonder if that was a mistake. Might have been meaning to keep him in the corner. That does give Cowhunter a lot of space to back into.
All right, backing up, trying to use that 2M, that far H to stop Seox from doing anything. It's going to be really tough right here, but what a response to the ultimate Rekka once again. The SSBA reaction. Cowhunter across 2 sets with an amazing about the pillar and then the Anicha. Both the medium versions have been buffed to be a lot more active and better tracking at further away ranges. So the space control by using the medium versions of those skill will definitely give Vira a lot of problems. But we will see if Baz Bunkus has some counterplay that we may have to make command some respect here from Elsa.
One thing that I think I'm going to be very interested in for Baz Bunkus throughout this is how do you handle that air dash? Because Elsa's got such massive buttons that you can't just float over them like you can in a lot of other matchups.
Yeah, I do also love using the install there, getting a fresh combo there with the 2-1-4. Didn't necessarily need to extend with the Raging Strike, but hey, maintain the consistency if you don't trust on the hit. Make sure the sure thing is the sure thing. And you got a 5L mash out there from Versusia. But I was going to say the install as we get back row here, install going to be very big here against a high health character in Versusia. You want to make sure that any touch that you get against her, as hard as there may be to come by, definitely adds up. And right now you're seeing it being enabled there with the 2-3-6U working out mid-screen, Ultimate Darkane being enabled able to go into a larger combo extension that otherwise wouldn't have worked. So Baz Bunk is getting the install there early, paying off dividends. Huge right there.
Both characters getting the opportunity to use their install mechanics. We saw Elsa having plenty of opportunity to bring up the Celestial Dominion as well. The difference, of course, being that wasn't able to get those resets with it. There we go, comes out again. But can you actually get something off of this? Or is this time, this spacing that you've given Baz Bunkus going to be enough to overcome that?
Swing on out here with the far H. You're seeing Baz Bunkus be very respectful. Still hard to throw out that Luminiera up against there, so it's going to be really hard to approach behind it. Also ready for it right now. That far H has been doing a lot of work here in this neutral. Baz Bunkus being very mindful of that. Trying to probably call it out with a jump right there, but we were ready with the 2H.
Great catch and great extension there as well. Resets the Celestial Dominion. Baz Bunkus is able to get the install off. This is an opportunity to turn it around. That defense is not very good.
We'll try to get a little tricky there. The air dash cancel by using that JM right there. Slowly approaching behind those pillars, but really tricky hit there right there from the 2H. I thought Vira was going to be able to clog them on the dome piece because it came out a little bit late, but it came out just in time. Versusia fighting back here.
Yeah, that was a great catch from Elsa. It got a little bit scary at the end. Again, like when you're on defense as this character, yeah, you've got big buttons, but they're so slow, they're so laggy as well that it's very scary to press anything.
Oh, it's also very tricky to play around that Samsara if you're not quite ready for it. Still has a very strong burst option in that back special. Good tech on the throw there, but still maintaining minus frame, so Baz had the chance to fight back. But we run right up there with the 6-6L, but a BC to get the hard knockdown.
All this off of a single deadly flare as well, and what a read on that install. This all just goes to show how important two interactions went Versusia's way. Elsa taking full advantage, the read with the deadly flare, the read on the install, and now you're in the corner and a single boot to the dome takes the round.
6-6M comes for us all. It looks so reactable. It's a big lady swinging her big leg on your dome piece, but sometimes in the heat of the moment, you're thinking about so many other things and we're not ready for it. But a good slide through. We've seen that a couple of times so far from Baz, playing around that Anicha pretty well, just sliding on through the heavy version coming out there from Elsa, and now pinning them down while they don't have access to a DP. This is when you don't have to be as respectful as we saw in that first game. We can just wail on them with that close quarters and then prompt a BP expenditure. But again, the 2Hs have been the turning point here for Elsa each time.
Man, that deadly flare is so strong. We've seen Baz Bunkus kind of able to maneuver around it like you were talking about at the beginning, dashing in front of it and getting a punishment as a result. That time, though, no dice, but Baz not deterred, swinging back, but Elsa unafraid as well. Neither of these characters holding the block button right now.
That 6-6H was mad risky right there because a character like Versusia that can just do 5L. Good use of the BP right there to get the counter hit on the BC between those hits, but unfortunately not going to be able to maximize anything with it. We fight back as Elsa just keep on mashing.
Rinse and repeat. Elsa looking so comfortable once they get in, knows the win cons. She's doing a great job of holding her advantage.
Our neutral drum probably to snipe out that 6-6M round start. Wasn't quite ready for that JH to convert after the fact though, but still put them at a distance where they can't get Luminiera out. And now here we go, these pillars! And yeah, the 6-6H, a character like Versusia, that 5L is going to connect into a triple strike at any range, so hard to space that out pretty well against her without it hurting.
A little bit of a whiff there on the air recovery. Baz Bunk is able to get down, but only one BP to your name. You can't afford to take an extra 20%. That's GG's and a handshake, not even sitting through the super animation.
Oh, I think it's an I because I saw it in the all caps.
That's
I think
the
that was an I.
alphabet soup. They just shuffled it a little bit.
True. Campbell's chicken soup possibilities. All right, what's the possibility of us getting a win with this Lowain? We already saw Incendia doing it earlier in the block. And funny enough, I think this is one character that Vira does not want to see. A character that can do a really good job running away. And against zoning, Vira does definitely struggle at her most. But, oh yeah, Yuel representing the PR flag. Wepa, Puerto Rican Vira. This is a woman after my own heart right now.
What coverage there from Yuel, the bait, the knowledge check right at the beginning, throwing out the Luminiera and then DPing in neutral, like, punish me, I dare you. That's so nasty.
Oh, these two M's and these far M's are going crazy right now, and then using the DP to snipe them out of the skies right now. It looks like Mark is not being able to really pick up on what they're supposed to do defensively, but Yuwi just not. I was talking about how when Lowain creates space, it's hard for Vira to really get her game plan started. Yuwi just not making that a factor at all. Oppressive to start things off.
Yuwi hitting with the knowledge check there. That was twice in a row. The Luminera into the DP. What are you going to do about it in neutral? Oh my goodness. What are we doing?
If nobody got me, I know the bros got me. I got counter hit 668 round start. Doesn't matter. I've got family on my side. You ever seen Fast and Furious? Family goes a long way.
Yes, they do. Deep out into the desert with this one. Let's see if they've got enough gasoline, that high octane 93, to push through this, or is Yuwi going to get that install and another DP and another corner combo?
We had a chance for that Ejectocito Cub, but we couldn't quite maximize on it with the bone wheel of the bros. So now Yui's still in prime position, but the Ejectocito going to get hit right there. We're the Tyrese, but you do not have enough health to survive with the human pyramid attack. That is a tough ride that's going to end there in game one, but Yuwi taking it to the max. She's looking very clean here with this Vira to start things out. The offense definitely primed for a win.
Yuwi does not care. Oh, you got the human pyramid? That's cool. Anyway.
I'm swinging, dog. I don't know about you. I don't know. So I saw your lecherous eyes peering on my beloved Katalina. You are going to have to pay
how dare
for
you.
it.
Pointing at the plushie as well. A little cheer from the crowd as they pointed at the plushie. Yuwi, she is looking fantastic right now.
Oh, fantastic use of the close, heavy anti-air properties right there. Vira very gifted in that department. All of her heavies having anti-air properties. The proximity is a little bit of a tough thing to play around every now and again, but if you can get a good hit like you could with that close 8, you can really get that early health lead and make it count here, and then count on using that on our minus frames right here. It's only you're only minus if you're insert word here.
Look, being minus is a state of mind, and we try to stay positive around here. Unfortunately for Mark, that means that's going to be down to your last round here. Yuwi doing such a good job of creating plus frames out of minus frames.
Yeah, and I think the tough thing right now is that Mark's having a tough time establishing the neutral up against Yui's oppressiveness of being very active in that phase of the game. Good throw tech right there, but now we have a chance to play this RPS game. That's something that Vira can only answer with the 2M of their own. When they get put in that awesome sauce RPS and we go to that 2M as Lowain, we saw Yuwi throw out that button a lot offensively. Can we use that as a check here? But we checked the parry with the throw in the corner here. Now let's get started here.
So much damage comes out of that as well, and it's the active hitbox of that Luminera. I don't care if you got family on your side. I've got an install. It's all me all the time, and so many canned mix-ups in the corner into the DP. You thought that was an ender? No, I'm a float on you as well.
The devious double 214M going to get a lot of damage here,
Oh,
but we
no.
could reverse fortunes right
Oh,
here.
no.
We got our love and Iggy coming out right here. Imagination is a powerful thing right here. And so are these unblockables. You are getting hit by all of them right now. We're right back in there. 214, you going to run right into the cat box, but we are undeterred in the name.
Until later.
All right, here we go, though. So without the JL mix, Zeta still has access to a lot of very strong ways defensively and in neutral to set the pace of the game. And then when they get them in the corner and they get that hard knockdown, the mix is still strong with the pogo.
Yeah, and you got to be so careful as well against Jatsu's pressure game with that Spear of Arvest, because sometimes you're going to go in with that last hit, sometimes you're not. You kind of have to guess as Izzy, and a lot of that is going to come down to the conditioning, the recognition of the habits.
All right, identified a habit right there, mashing on plus frames with Izzy. So, oh, unfortunately a little bit too low. We've seen that a couple times so far. The SBA dropping. Saw that from her best friend Beatrix in an earlier set, trying to pick up after her, but we pick up after the mess that we left on the table right there. Round 1 win after dropped SBA combo. All good at the end of the day.
Yeah, looking solid, looking poised. Maybe another one of those American resets, even though that flag may be showing something else. He's been Americanized, but Izzy going in, swinging first in this round number 2. Now it's your turn to show. What can you do?
Oh, wow. Yeah, you were talking about that Spear of Arvest being a very good air stall tool. Already baiting out that 2H, just falling right out of range for a true punish, though. So we're going to see that represented a lot by Jatsu and taking them into the corner. Now trying to get them mashing on plus frames again, but this time we use our BC.
Yeah, that's a BC ATM kind of move right there, where you're just trying to reduce your opponent's resources. I don't care if you block, because now you're going to have less to press on me with. Oh, little Rhapsody setup there. Do you dare swing?
Block on the double overhead, rewarded with a chance to get out of pressure by using another one of our bravery points, but we could have the potential to get it back here. 2M going to enable. Oh, actually not going to do anything after the fact. It was going to be a little bit tough to get that corner combo because we were a little bit of a ways away, but only 1 BP left to our name. Can afford to take a throw here, but not much else.
We see J2 throwing out the level 1 there. The triple pogo into the high, into the throw attempt on the landing. That's the classic. Now goes for a shimmy instead of jumping, trying to get Izzy to do something unsafe, but instead does something unsafe himself, and Izzy ready with the reactions on that jump in. The anti-air super gonna take the round.
Air stall be darned. That is a really good response right there, just saying, hey, I couldn't trust in that 2H when I was in a previous interaction of that kind. And this time just saying, I'm gonna cover all of my bases. If she air stalls, if she just falls raw, the SBA is gonna cover both. Great tracking onto that move and great employment of the move by Izzy.
I love that you mentioned that covering all bases, because that's such an important part of high-level play. How can I collapse the RPS to be biased in my favor? I don't want a 30% chance of winning. I want a 75% chance of winning. What can I do to make that happen? Oh, there's the mix-up from J2. That time goes high twice and then lands immediately, so Izzy's not going to be ready for it.
Oh, that is unfortunate. I believe they could have cashed out into something that would have killed potentially, but that's going to give Siegfried another chance at life. That is something you do not want to give this character, because this can add up, especially if we go into the SSBA off rip. That's going to be a lot of damage and a lot of opportunity here for Siegfried.
Hit him with the flashback on that one. Now J2 on the back foot, low on resources, spends the last BP, and it is worth it. J2 clawing his way back into that game number 1.
Ultimate beam catching the backdash right there, and then another ultimate spear of Arves follow up to clean things up after the fact. So yeah, it was getting away from them a little bit after they could have potentially taken the game earlier, but good presence of mind to still traverse those situations. But Izzy with the presence of mind to maintain active defense. But that 2H is going to be a problem there. Got called out again, no punish, but if you don't have those 100 meters, I think Jasu's still comfortable by using that air stall with the Arves.
Izzy being patient, using those long-range normals, didn't get too aggressive against J2, and the downside was maybe you didn't get a big punish, but the upside was you were able to force him into the corner, does jump out, does get himself out of the corner, but that BC just going to come out, going to reset the neutral. BC again, both of these players willing to show that option early.
We were talking about percentages earlier in terms of collapsing the RPS. A little bit of Steiner math. You got a 63 and 66 and 2/3 chance of getting hit by that pogo mix-up. It comes for us all. Light starter with the 2L, but still a grip of damage after the fact. Empty jump throw, but good use of the sweep. A very strong Abari tool. Gonna go into the SSBA with it, and similar to what we got in the last round. Never mind, you're just dead?
Okay.
You're just dead?
Shouldn't have gotten hit.
Fair?
What you getting hit for? Come on now. Let's be reasonable adults about this.
The power of friendship is strong.
Man, we got family in this block. We got friendship in this block. It's a nice little family stream for y'all. Hope you're having a good time here at CEO 2025, our 15th installation. Right now, it's J2, a.k.a. the Horse Girl, Marikana Fudakarataru, etc., versus Izzy, going into a tight potential last round here.
Trying to deter the 2H once again by using that Spear of Arves, but this time getting the counter hit and a grip of damage after the fact. You do not want to get anti-aired by Siegfried, because all of that damage really does add up with that counter hit. Didn't get the cinematic on that SBA, but the Rhapsody going to clash with the Fireball, and the SSBA going to be coming out from Jesu this time around. So some really crazy interactions right there. Didn't get the range on the cinematic that would have otherwise killed. Zeta getting a chance to live against the Dragon Knight. Can the Society Agents pull out the victory here?
J2 needs to play this perfectly, and unfortunately is not able to. That chip out, such a threat in that situation. J2 knew it. He swung. He got hit.
Marikane Fukukitaru doing a really good job racing to the gates there in that game 2, with looking very scary after some interactions, but still found the time to get that SSBA and then found the time to collect themselves. But they're going to have to figure something out right here. They put them in the similar situation, but yeah, we used the Rhapsody to get on out of there. Otherwise, it was going to be really scary.
J2 has done that a couple times now with the Spirit of Arves. Going in, then out, then back in. And Izzy has been trying to punish and getting caught both times.
Honestly, it might be harder for Siegfried. I'm not quite sure, but a lot of characters are able to respond to that by doing a 6-6L. Oh, but this time we don't go into Arves and we hop right on over the SBA. Not quite ready to punish with anything a lot more meaningful right there. So we give Izzy a chance to run up. 2M, strong poke there from Siegfried, and a strong position that they have Zeta in right now.
Ooh, Rhapsody, get off of me, the classic. You can't swing too aggressively on me in the corner, and look at that corner carry. Speaking of, J2 turning that around, but again, Izzy is not afraid to swing out of the corner, as I hear one person very excited about that in the crowd.
I know a lot of people weren't excited about the nerfs to the Orcon conversions, the heavy one not necessarily being able to combo from lights, but they got the 2M to hit and canceled into it to secure things. So the 2M, again, a very good poke to throw out, especially in that Abare situation, and it paid off a lot. But we're going to get a large payoff right here. Corner offense getting started from Zeta after Jesu opened the round beautifully on the offensive foot.
Now, one thing that we haven't seen much of, that we haven't gotten to talk about a lot, is that Izzy is not really going for the Mani Gons. That has been a bit of a trend amongst our Siegfried players in general in this bracket. He's had the opportunities. He's just opting to go for pressure, go for those fireball Oki setups like that instead.
Yeah, probably a little bit more of a stable approach in their mind right now, as they have them in a favorable position right now, threatening the set win right here, trying to slam right there, catch Zeta mashing, but they got to mash at some point. Otherwise, they're going to get caught by something, and it is, again, the Siegfried 2M that comes for us all. Izzy going to keep it real standard, keep it real nice with the low medium to win things 2-0.
I mentioned I want to see the SSBA. I'd also love to see some silly Volt setups. I love that move.
Yeah, it's a very tricky move, especially when they buffed it to enable more conversions after the fact that you get a throw on them. Lancelot definitely is a character that does not want to see a lot of the different ways that 2B can get a straight hit on you to tack on some damage, because having access to an auto combo that is unique to her definitely allows more of the average touches to add up on a Pixie Health character like Lancelot. And again, here's this corner position, but we jump on out of there using the wall jump. I was remiss in not thinking about that, not considering that, but Lancelot and Pokey not considering the fact that they had 50 meter to deal with, but the wall jump once again working out. So this is a really good stuff right here, using the signature tool of Lancelot to get out of harm's way.
I feel like this is going to be a very explosive matchup, because both characters are so oppressive on offense and on Oki, and neither character is really the best at defense. So I think you're going to see explosive rounds kind of like this, where Pokey was initially on the back foot, got stuck, then got one hit, and Forkuma just melted.
The Rising Turbulence DP is also a very good thing to have against characters with air stall. 2B very famous for her very strong air stall, her pod game, her JU. So being able to have that Rising Reversal, very good right there, and employed very well there by Pokey. And again, using all of Lancelot's tools right there, going for the Turbulence, the meterless variety to get on out of there, not biting for the overhead setup right there. And these wall jumps, 3 for 3 right now.
Yeah, working out really well. Again, against a float character, I feel like that one might actually struggle a little bit, because they're right up there in your face most of the time. But Pokey has been finding opportunities to use it when Forkuma isn't in a position to punish.
Yeah, as well as we're shooting from the line with that tool right now, we need a flop like Lou Dort to get there more often, because right now we have 2B in a really good spot right now. The health advantage is massive right now. Triple strike going to hit overhead and then just go on into the throw. Forkuma not quite ready for that defensively. And yeah, we're just jamming out the tunes on our phone, find the right spot in our playlist, but Forkuma going to have to find the right mentality to collect themselves after Lancelot taking a strong game one. Oh, we're proving. We're proving.
Yeah, this offense has been kind of disgusting from Pokey. Forkuma struggling to figure out the patterns, and I think part of that is because there haven't been a lot of patterns. Pokey's mix-ups have been extensive, and with a character like Lancelot who has the opportunities there, the Blade Impulse going to put you into the corner. Forkuma sliding right back. Oh, they are both They are zip-zapping all over the screen.
Ultimate Rekka working out right there, getting a hit and getting in the face of 2B. Like you were mentioning, she does not have access to a lot of great defensive tools outside of using that meter or that 50% reversal or an SVA.
Oh,
and we're going to use a
what a clip.
50%er right there. Ultimate Turbulence working out again, this time on the ground rather than catching her in the air. Lancelot and Pokey looking very dominant right now.
Kuma pressed a button. That's what you get. You pressed at the wrong time. Now you're going to have to think real quick on your feet. Got one more opportunity as Pokey starts the offense. Every other time this has happened, it has ended in death for Forkuma. Will this time be any different, or will Pokey continue with these mix-ups, continue with these EX conversions as well? Throw break reset, you're -6. Absolutely locked down into the corner. We don't even need Oki to get that fireball up, but finally, Forkuma gets out, spending those resources, already down to 1 BP.
That 4H was huge right there, being able to represent that for the first time, because other than that, they've been hit by the 4H of Lancelot, and they've definitely been hit by that wall jump by Lancelot plenty of times right now, but this time will be the last as we cancel it into an SBA. So Pokey and Lance going to win right there. I think Pokey just basically saying, yeah, if you see me go up against the wall, I want one.